This and all episodes of the podcast have been brought to you by our generous patrons over at Patreon, the DayZ podcast. If you're interested in finding out more about how you can support the show each week, then please click the link in the description down below to find out more information about Patreon, the DayZ podcast. Thank you for your support. And once again, as always, folks, a big shout out to our supporters on patreon.com, the DayZ podcast. Our $10 supporters, Scalespeeder Gaming and Dick Donovan. Thank you so much, guys. Your support is really appreciated. And a massive shout out to our $25 supporter, Jake Snow. I don't know why you do it, mate, but we can't thank you enough for your support for the DayZ podcast. All the best, folks, and enjoy the show. 3, 2, 1. G'day everybody and welcome to episode 52, which is a big episode for us, a 1 year anniversary of the podcast. I didn't think I was going to do 5 episodes, let alone 52 episodes, but look at us. Look, here we are. Marks, welcome once again, buddy.
Glad to be here as usual. Hope you're all doing well today.
And we are joined today by a return guest, Soma. How you doing, buddy?
I am very well today, sir. I am getting coffeeed up.
Yeah,
so it's a work day for me and a podcast for me today. So I got a good 2 hours in me, and then I have this huge work thing I have to do that's airing on Twitch. So
yeah,
it's a busy day, busy Saturday.
We'll talk a bit more about that later if you want to, but sure. We also have the one and only the official Lou. Now, a lot of you guys probably haven't heard of Lou. How you doing, mate?
What's up? How's it going?
Lou is, if you ever have watched Soma or watched Brian or heard Brian and them talk, he's a name you hear mentioned like these guys are joined at the hip, is basically the impression that I have had of the three of you. But you're like the quiet one of the bunch.
He's the
Lou.
quiet beetle. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Lou.
I mean, where do you want me to start? I mean, how far we want to go back with this thing?
I want to know what you were like as a child. No, never mind. I already know what you were like as a child. You were crazy.
What's your connection with these two legends of the DayZ community?
It goes back like way back to 2000. Well, not way back, but 2012. Guess it is pretty far back now, huh?
Jeez. Yeah, 9 years.
Wow.
That's far. It's far back.
Yeah, dude. Time flies. Holy shit. But yeah, I was just playing DayZ, and then we just all kind of happened to fall together. Playing the game, started a kind of a team playing DayZ, and then we just kept, met up IRL for PAX West, right? That was the first time when we met up.
Yeah, we were all like super into the mod, and we all found each other on Twitch, and we started playing together. And Brian said, "Have you guys ever been to a gaming event?" And we were like, "No." And he's like, "You guys got to go to PAX." So I said, "Fuck it, I'll check it out." And Lou said the same, and we all met, and it was all all friendship and love, and we were happy to meet each other and bond over Twitch. And
was there spooning? Was there spooning?
I don't know what Brian and Lou did behind closed doors. Yeah, I'd imagine there was forking or spooning or knifing. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a picture floating around of a beanbag and like a condom and some like lotion or something.
I'm pretty sure there was spooning between Vigilante Gamer and Hicks when they met at PAX in 2015. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to tell that story. But look, Brian's running late, so we could say whatever we want to him. We're behind his back while he's not here.
Exactly. Yep.
So what happened after that? You guys met, and I fucking love hearing these stories of people who made lifelong friendships through a bloody video game. You hear people say all the time the video games are bad and all the rest of it, but as we're going to talk more about later with something that happened in the community here in Australia, it proves that these friendships you make with people online are real friendships, despite what people would try and tell you.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we ended up living together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we obviously we got connected heavily on Twitch, and DayZ was the sort of the catalyst on the Twitch platform that brought us together. But after a year and a half of streaming together and doing stuff with Survivor games and building that out digitally, not in the same physical space, we all decided to move to Washington State, outside of Seattle, and got a gaming house. Tash was with us as well. So was Bike Man, another streamer, and we all lived in this house together and continue to build up Survivor games. And
Quick question: how's your liver?
my liver was had kind of gone to shit when I was in the military.
Oh, okay.
1 year in Korea. Yeah, that's another thing. Lou was a Marine.
Yep.
Brian was in the Army, and I was in the Air Force. So we sort of had this like trifecta thing going on. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we had this other guy that was with us a lot. His name was Kai, and he was a Canadian civilian. So he was sort of like, he was like the nice, sweet guy, and we were all killers, I guess. But yeah, obviously the military bond definitely helped.
Yes.
It helped bring us together faster. But going to that first event, getting that house, that was a really cool moment for all of us. That was in the early days of Twitch and content creation, not necessarily for YouTube, but live and for variety games, not an esports focused title, but for just like variety and stuff like that, like a different kind of content that was not competitive in esports, like StarCraft 2 and League was. It was very prevalent. And then you had this other game that was a different kind of content, and DayZ was the king of that, right? So it was like a new thing, and we just found friendship in that new thing. And then obviously Survivor Games had success, and Lou continued to work as a developer in the game dev space. Brian got his job as lead producer on DayZ, and I got my job at Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So Survivor Games sort of, we weren't smart enough to make a mod like Brendan Green and become millionaires, but we were smart enough to make something that people liked and was cool. And we were smart enough to use that event and what we had built as a springboard into a career and other shit.
Yep.
I never would have gotten a job at a startup, any startup, if it wasn't for that event and working with Brian and Lou and building something on Twitch. It just wouldn't have happened. So
what are you doing now, Lou?
I'm working as a designer on an unannounced project right now.
Ah, and maybe an unannounced military sim.
I can't say.
Armor 4 confirmed.
Yeah, neither confirm nor deny.
DayZ 2 confirmed.
I'd play a DayZ 2. Wouldn't that be cool? DayZ 2 announced.
Oh,
What would DayZ 2 be like?
That is a good question. Like, what
Yeah.
kind of things would you want as a community on something like that?
ooh.
I guess it'd have to be like DayZ 2 would be like 20 years later. Everything's like grimy and really overgrown, and
Yeah.
I
maybe
need that now.
I don't know. Or what if DayZ 2 was a prequel and it was the first day?
Now
of
that's
the zombie
interesting.
apocalypse,
That's
and there was
interesting.
way more AI, and there was like AI civilians and way more zombies and
Yeah.
AI vehicles driving around, and the cities weren't overgrown yet. That'd be kind of cool.
I think you're on a winner right there. With if they do ever do it, they need to give it a different story arc, a different lore behind it, not just do DayZ 2 an improved version of that. Give it a whole different bit of lore behind it. That said, I also think they need
100%,
to flesh out the lore more as well. We got to touch on that with it pains me that I'm not remembering his name, Matt Lightfoot, where he showed us a very grainy video from back in the day that they made up with a Nine Inch Nails soundtrack of the lore behind DayZ.
I miss Matt Lightfoot. What a
Yeah,
sweet
it's
kid.
been a
He had the
minute.
face of a cherub.
Didn't
He
he?
had that little angelic face, and then he'd talk, and it's like, you fucking what, mate? He had like his, he'd say he had like the mouth of a fucking sailor, but he looked like a little angel. Yeah.
Well, we
a good
actually,
guy.
So accurate.
one of the guys in my chat has said we kind of do have DayZ 2 out now, mini DayZ 2 beta.
What's mini DayZ 2 beta? Are we talking about?
Have you ever played mini DayZ?
No. What's mini
Isn't
DayZ?
that the
You have not heard.
down?
You have not heard of? Yeah, it's an app you
Oh,
can
is it the
play.
browser?
No, it's an app you can play on a mobile phone or a tablet.
Okay, I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
get your phone out and just type in Mini DayZ. I've actually got Bestius, one of the devs behind it, lined up as a guest for the near future to come on to talk about
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's you know it's like a top-down view, as you said, Lou, and the graphics are kind of pixely. But if you can't get enough DayZ in your life, you can carry a fucking game in your pocket now. Did you know about it, Marks?
I knew about it. I don't know much about it though itself.
It's actually kind of fun. I've played it quite a few times myself. It's just a simple little fun little game. It's single player. Mate, I don't know about Mini DayZ 2, whether that's going to have any online stuff. But it's a simple, fun little game, and there's a link there in chat to the website as well if anyone wants to know more about it. But yeah, I'm surprised at how many people have never heard of it. You know, even yourself, Soma. I was sure you would have heard of it.
No, I'm looking at it right now for the first time.
Yeah.
This is awesome, dude. I had no idea. So you're just a solo survivor, and it's just zombies out there. That's it.
No. There's AI players as well. Yeah, there's some really. I'm very keen to find out about Mini DayZ 2, but they've got some interesting little mechanics in it, and yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up on that.
There you go. See.
Nice. Learned something new on the DayZ podcast. 15 minutes in, feel more educated already.
It's all downhill from here, mate. It's all downhill.
That's okay. I'll forgive you.
So how's Stream Elements going, mate?
Stream Elements is awesome. Very stressful. When was the last time we talked?
Oh shit! About
3 months ago.
Yeah, about 3 months ago. It was just after New Year's. I did Doc. No, that's not his name. The guy who created. I've got a shocking memory. The guy who created DayZ Underground as the first person. Yeah. Dr. Big Money. As the first guest of the year, and then I think you were the second guest.
Well, we have hired a shitload more people. A bunch of like old school Twitch folks have joined us, so we keep stacking the deck with previous Twitch employees.
Yep.
We're getting tons of buzz and whatnot in the marketing and sort of sales world, the business world, in terms of like digital marketing and whatnot. So revenue's going up, and we're getting cool new deals. And I alluded to one of the cool things we're doing later today on Twitch. That's with HBO Max and the Snyder's Cut for Justice League. We're having Zack Snyder and Joe Manganiello on a stream with Man vs. Game, and I've been setting it up for the past like 10 days, and it's a lot. And it's finally coming to a head today. Yeah, so as soon as 3 p.m. PT hits, I'm sprinting over there to make sure that there's no fires. So yeah, that, and then we're working with like cool brands like Kool-Aid and Airheads and Nike and just random fucking companies. You name it, we're just getting more and more business from endemic and non-endemic brands. So it's exciting, man. It's just a lot of work. It can be very stressful, but it's fun to be a part of a small startup. And I'm doing fun stuff that doesn't necessarily feel like it's tech or video games, but the whole entire company is based around, you know, OBS and streamer tools and monetization tools and chat bots and overlays and cloud-based overlay systems and tech support for broadcasters. And then I get to do this like cool shit where I build a live stream with you know, Zack Snyder and Man vs. Game. It's fucking crazy. I love it. It's a cool job, and I get to do it in my PJs at home. Can't really beat that.
That's dope.
So it hasn't become big corporate yet, like we were joking about.
No,
it's still a fun place.
I mean, we got to be honest about something when it comes to an eventual corporate takeover. Whether you get acquired by Amazon, or you stay private and you grow into a multi-billion-dollar company with offices around the world and 4,000 employees, or you IPO and you become a public company and you remain in control of your own business, no matter what, there is eventually a path that leads to corporatism. And which leads to a bit of whatever soul was there to be ripped out and dissipated. But we are in such an early stage, like Series A startup. Like I was employee 71 just 6-7 months ago. It's such a small, humble beginning for the company, and we're in such early stages. That sort of fate is far, far off into the distance. And this happens to every fucking company. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah.
No company is safe from this. CD Projekt Red used to be the gold standard of game development. God damn, were they not trusted across the board? And even they screwed the fucking pooch.
Yep.
Even they bent the knee to shareholders and deadlines. And they released Cyberpunk, and it was not ready. And they were the gold standard. They were the guys that you could trust to make a game and release it at the right time. And even that went away. So eventually, everyone falls to the dark side. But I am very, very happy to say that Stream Elements is currently very much on the light side. And the company's amazing, and I feel so fucking lucky to be there. I honestly feel really lucky.
So, Lou, what was your involvement with Survivor Games? We talked with Soma quite heavily about, he had this idea and he was talking with you guys and you all just went, yes, this is fucking something. So what was your involvement with it?
The very first one, I was like very minimum involvement beyond just participating in the event, with Brian shouldering a lot of the work. And then after that, kind of seeing how much he had shouldered, coming from just graduating, trying to get into the environment art side of video games. I was like, yo, maybe there's something I can help you out with on here. Just tell me what you're doing. Like, let me see where I can fit in and kind of take some of the load off your shoulders. So some of that fell into just minor tweaks to the Taviana map and kind of setup and just experimenting there. But that was more on kind of like a level design side of things, but very like light. And then the majority of my efforts on Survivor Games was more of kind of behind the scenes management, getting people set up, making sure everything worked, getting people together prior to the event to make sure, we had everybody, we weren't missing anyone, laying out the rules. So a lot of administrative tasks.
You led operations essentially.
Yeah. So that allowed, Soma to kind of spearhead the creative approach, and then Brian was handling a lot of the tech side of things.
I've heard the horror stories from like Blue Man and that, of just how much stress you guys were under back in the day. I've even seen a lovely video that Blue Man did for Brian after one of the events, and he was so stressed out, and I think Blue Man pretty much took nearly all of his clothes off and filmed himself jumping into a pool.
Yeah, we almost, like, every single time the Survivor Games ended, we would almost quit. Like, everyone was just ready to, like, not ever do it again. And then, like, 2 or 3 weeks to go by, and we'd say, we're doing this again, right? But no matter what we did, we would get hate for it. There'd be like the typical, like, that was awesome, thank you guys. And then there was this other massive flood of individuals online that would just shit on us. Well, if you guys did it this way, it would have been a lot easier. Well, all right, armchair quarterback who has no fucking idea what's really going on behind the scenes or how this actually works. It's really, really easy to give advice when you're like laying in bed on Reddit, and you've never done anything like it before.
Yeah, but it wasn't just some of the armchair critics. I remember it. I won't say who it was, but I remember watching a streamer whilst in the middle of participating in the Survivor Games, and they were bitching about it. They were like, "Why do I even fucking do this? I fucking hate this game. I don't even play it anymore." And I was like, "You ungrateful fucking twat." It really fucking annoyed me when I heard that. I'm guessing you probably know who I'm talking about, Soma. I'm certain someone.
No.
No,
it's okay.
Yeah, but it really disappointed me, and the criticism is good. You need to take criticism on board, but as you said, when you get these people who think they know better, Marks, it's just what. Come on, mate, you've got to fucking pull your head in, and these guys are doing the best with a game engine that wasn't really conducive towards what they were. you guys were
Stripping a
Survivor
mod of an
games.
old game.
You
Yeah,
guys
we
were
fighting
light
with a
years
mod.
ahead, and you were light years
Yeah.
ahead. Look what came out of it, Marks. You know, Player Unknown
Yeah.
Battleground, Fortnite, fucking.
Yeah, it's always like, okay, if you think you know everything about, you're giving all this advice and you think you know everything, go do it.
Yeah,
Go do it.
exactly.
What's
Then come
that?
back
What's
and
that?
tell
What's
me
that?
how
You can't do it. Then shut the
can't
fuck
do it,
up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We also had like a shit ton of help from our community as well.
Hmm.
But
Right.
at the same time, it's like there's only so much that your community can support you unless they're, you know, IT wizards or something. Or not even IT wizards, more of server networker, like knowing the server network stuff and programming. But it was like 3 of us really doing a lot of trying to coordinate these streamers, get their schedules to all align on a magic day, and not cut into, you know, what they want to do, right? So you're trying to find that middle ground. On top of working your own job, Brian was working. I was like doing school stuff on the side, so it's not like this is a full-time job we can just do for free either.
Right.
So I could understand the frustration, but also like it was kind of annoying at some points. Like, bro, trust me, I understand. Like, I would be frustrated if that was me in that situation as well. But you got to understand, like, we can't fully. This is not like we're just building this from scratch. Without, I don't know, man. It was rough at times trying to like justify the anger and backlash on some things.
Like I saw Brian had a really good post on his Twitter where he was referencing. Let me just see if I can find it. But someone had a post about Fortnite. Here it is. I just found it. Don't know whether you guys saw this one yourself. I don't understand the title, Atari versus Meteos. That probably makes sense to more tech-minded people, but he talked about just how, you know, much you guys did with Survivor games, and that it's kind of weird for people to take swipes at other content when it all, yeah. And you even said yourself, Soma, the idea sort of came from was it the Japanese thing that Player Unknown Battlegrounds as well, or was it just where did the inspiration come from for you again?
So the inspiration was not the Battle Royale, the Japanese film Battle Royale, actually. I did not know that existed, which is insane. I found out about that film after we had created the event, believe it or not.
Yep.
What I was inspired by was the Hunger Games books.
That's
but
right,
Not
yeah.
necessarily the books. What it was one of the Hunger Games films was about to release. I think it was like the 3rd one or something like that. 2nd one maybe. It was about to come out, and I sort of said on stream, why the hell aren't we just doing this in this game? Why don't we just make our own Hunger Games? My character's starving right now. There's people trying to kill me. Let's just make it a big circle. Let's just make a big circle and pair people up, and can we do that? And then Brian was like, I mean, yeah, technically we could. And then we ended the stream a little bit later, and we started talking about it more. And suddenly it was something we were actually, actively trying to build. And then it became a thing. What is this article you're looking at? What's the date on it?
It's a post Brian put out March 20th. It was on his Twitter.
Oh. You should link that. I would like to read that later.
Give me 1 second. I'll send it through to you.
Right. That's cool.
It's only a short article, but yeah, it was quite an interesting read.
Oh, that's great. I will take a look at this later.
Look at you learning on the fucking podcast. That's 2 things now. Mini DayZ and...
Dude, learning's fun. I think everyone should keep doing it. It's good for your brain.
Shit here, mate. I'm subbed to so many weird channels on YouTube. Just to, I heard just the other day, off topic, but during the Battle of Britain, there was a British fighter pilot who ran out of ammunition, and there was a bomber headed towards Buckingham Palace. And he sat there and went, well, I can't let them bomb Buckingham Palace. What can I do? I can use my plane to take out the bomber. And he fucking kamikazed into the back of a German bomber and took it out. Didn't quite go to plan. He thought he was just going to knife straight through it like butter. But yeah, I just love watching these videos and learning about things in history and new stuff. And like you said, mate, you got to keep your mind fresh.
Indeed. Battle of Britain, one of the most badass battles of all of World War II. Biggest air battle in history. It's a good one.
Definitely.
Let me see here. Yeah, I'm going to read this later. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Happy to share.
So, it's a milestone for you. 1 year.
I know.
1 year. How does it feel?
Kind of surreal, actually. Yeah, it was just a passion project. Still growing. I'm looking to actually evolve it. I'm in talks with another legend, an unsung legend, in my opinion, an American guy named Kerbo, of expanding and creating a second podcast to talk about the survival game genre. I don't know if anyone's doing anything like that at the moment, but I just really enjoy talking. Can talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles, I've been told. And yeah, there's still a community that wants a dedicated, and the biggest shock for me is that each week we can still talk for 2 to 3 hours about a supposedly dead game.
Right. Are people still calling it a dead game? I feel like DayZ it's been around now for almost a decade. You know, obviously several years of that was in mod form, but it still has a healthy player base. People still talk about it. There's this fucking podcast, right? Like,
yep.
I don't know.
They always
I feel like I feel like the dead game thing is, that joke is dead. I don't know.
I feel like it's more of a death of their creativity, right? Because it's like DayZ is such an open-ended game where you can go and just kind of explore and experiment with things. Yet people just play, spawn, run, go get geared, shoot, have a fight, die, rinse, repeat. It's like, bro, there's way more you can do with this. Like, go check out some RP content. Like, you get some cool interactions out of there.
One of the best things that's happened recently, Lou, is Shroud coming back to DayZ. A lot of people don't know that the very first game Shroud ever streamed was DayZ, but the best part of it is, now Shroud is known for his insane PvP skills. He was a professional Counter-Strike player, and he can hit shots that you would swear were hacks. But he's actually been playing with a guy named Smoke, who I don't know whether you've heard of him, but Smoke is probably, in my opinion, one of the gold standards, along with the Running Man, of DayZ. They both play the game more than just a PvP thing. Smoke in particular, like the Running Man's got this thing where he doesn't really like role playing. It was even a command in his chat why I don't RP, and he had a link to a clip there for a while. But Smoke, he is borderline on par with Shroud for his PvP skills. Yet you watch that guy stream, and it's more than just PvP to him, Marks. He's always looking for interactions and so on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to build like a story.
Yeah.
Nearly with his streams, and it's nice to see somebody do that instead of just kind of run and shoot, gun down people all the time. There's no story to it.
Yeah. What you were saying about the dead game, the lack of creativity, I call it a bit of a lack of imagination for some people, Lou. DayZ's a daunting game to many people because they log in or they're watching a streamer, and the first question they ask is, so what's the end game? So many people are caught up in, you have to have a mission, you have to have an end game, and they try to impose that on DayZ and don't realise it's a blank slate. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
You know what I miss about the mod? And I don't know how it was for you, Soma, when you first started playing, but for me it was kind of like I was watching some videos and DayZ mod crept up on my radar, and I'm watching this dude play, and it's like, bro, it's like the Walking Dead simulator. This looks rad. There's survival elements, there's zombies. Like, I didn't even care. I didn't even want to fight other players. Like, I just wanted to see how long I could stay alive. in this type of environment, and that was like the initial draw for me. But holy crap, coming from, I think, you know, most of my games were MMOs like WoW, Rift, stuff like that, some Halo, and COD. So coming into Arma as the first, like, DayZ was my introduction into the Arma franchise.
Yeah.
So that was like hella daunting, trying to learn just basic player controls in comparison.
Remember the inventory? Trying to figure out the inventory?
Oh god.
First week, I was like, "What the fuck is this trash?" now I kind of like it. I kind of miss it. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then you start to judge other games by the DayZ standard for inventory because it's, oh yeah, I can actually, it kind of makes sense now. And oh, this game's, yeah.
But I miss the aspect of like, I don't need a goal to have fun with something.
Yes.
I don't like, here, play this game. Well, what am I supposed to do? It's like, just have fun, bro. There isn't a target goal. Just see what you can do, explore, experiment, man. And those kind of game, or platform, I should say, and structure works best for an open world environment. Because if you give someone a goal, you're effectively putting them on rails. So why are you giving them like basically ADD fodder to go distract them from the main? Like, it just starts ripping apart the foundation in my mind.
Couldn't agree more. It always makes me sad. You know, I remember saying to someone, why do you have a kill feed on the server? And the reply was, it lets people know, you know, that there's stuff happening on the server, that there's, you know, people around and that. And I went, but that kind of defeats the beauty of DayZ. That whole, you know, and I'm really bad for it. You get your thumb in bum, mind in neutral, you're out looting, and I'm a real loot goblin, Lord of the Horde, they call me. And then the next minute a shot whizzes past your head, or you see a player. You know, I still remember this video. It was about 4 minutes long from one of the legends of Australian DayZ, Vigilante Gamer. And it was just him in Zelenogorsk drinking at a well. And it's nighttime, and you see this little shadow flicker in the distance, and it was a player running past between two houses. But it just captured that feel of DayZ is just one of those unique games where it can go from 0 to 100 in a split second. And having things like a kill feed and global chat and that, it kind of, to me, feels like it detracts a bit from the experience.
Yeah, for sure. Like, hell, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Soma, but I think a lot of the magic in just the mod too, as much as it was infuriating, the scripter element where you're running around with your boys and next thing you know it's Thunderdome and you got to fight your way out. And like at the time, it's hella frustrating, right? Especially if you're like on your way to go, like, hey, we're gonna go loot, you know, up at Northwest. All of a sudden, like, fuck, now I got to deal with Thunderdome. But like looking back on it, for me, it's inspirational in an aspect of, yo, if we could cut the bullshit out of that, that could be something cool that you can think about for a mod where it's like you're running around playing DayZ, right? And everyone always throws that joke like running simulator. It's like, okay, well, you know, what if you're running around there, but you can queue up for quote unquote PvP combat to get your fix while you're exploring. So it's not like you don't have a choice, you're getting Thunderdome, but I can queue up for this. So now I'm incentivized to like, all right, I got to go find gear for Thunderdome. So it's like aspects like that, like when I look back on it, like, oh, that was shitty of an experience back then. But is there some kind of nugget of gold in here that you could build off the concept of it? I think that's what I like about DayZ, is just so many little things happen that start making you think about, like, that was a unique experience. I enjoyed that. Is there a way I can, you know, mod that or share that with the rest of the community and have them experience something similar as well without putting them on rails necessarily?
And that's sort of where things went with like PUBG and that. You know, it's essentially a boiled down session of DayZ, loot and end up in a firefight. And, you know, they obviously made it so it's, you know, the winner chicken dinner, which gave people a purpose. But if you liked that aspect of DayZ, the PvP, then, you know, Survivor Games started the genre, and then Brendan capitalised on it with his PUBG game. and spawned a whole new generation, all from this game, which supposedly is dead.
Someone had the comment, it's a zombie game, dead but still alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
It
kinda
has
true.
done a remarkable resurrection act. But, there's so many games that do that. The early access is still a relatively new concept. Back in the day, you never used to get a game until it was in its final product, and then early access started, and DayZ is probably one of the most well-known early access games of all time, for good and bad reasons. A lot was learnt from it. I know Brian said in the past that he's talked at conventions and that about what he's learnt from the DayZ early access, and it's I've enjoyed the 7+ years I've been playing standalone. I didn't really play the mod, had a handful of hours in it, watched a lot of videos on it, like a lot of people, but didn't have a computer back in the day. But it's been an enjoyable 7 years. The game's pretty much always been playable in one way, shape, or form. And now it's at the state where it's got the highest player numbers it's had in years.
Yeah, sometimes I miss the mod days, but I think what I missed was the sense of discovery and just that new car smell of the
Yeah.
video game, right? Nowadays, and I used to kind of shit on standalone when it first came out, but now playing, Namalsk day one modded servers and shit, I don't want to go back to the mod. I don't want to go back to earlier days. I am very content with the game right now. Is it perfect? No. I kind of harped on this last time. There's a lot of janky shit that pisses me off.
Yeah.
And that makes me want to slam my desk, especially when a zombie kitty prides through a shed door and eats my ass when I'm trying to bandage or something like that. Like, seriously? You have Shadow Cat's powers? This is bullshit. Come on. But it's okay. It's okay. Melee's a little janky. There's there's issues with ladders still. But if you can get past all that, all the turds, there's a lot of amazingness in the game, especially modern DayZ. Especially day one. I mean, those are Smoke's servers, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Right? He's the guy
Yes, they
behind
are.
day one. That gold standard streamer, also the gold standard for the servers. I honestly am playing DayZ still because of the day one branch of servers.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
He captured that old
saved
feel.
the game for me.
He captured that old feel, Marks, where it was pre-base building, and it was just, out and exploring and having a stash, maybe a barrel or a crate somewhere, and, now we've got the improvised shelters you can make as well, but that's been his success, plus with his branding behind it. He's one of the most respected people in the DayZ community. I don't think he's been involved in any drama at all. He just does his thing. He's a gold standard, Marks.
Yeah.
I think when like his servers with no base build, it makes you want to keep your character safe more. Like, if your character dies, it really sets you back. Like, you can't just run to a base or something. You might have a stash, but you're not gonna have everything at a stash. So you try and survive as best you can. You kind of get invested more into it, and I think that's why people are addicted to his servers and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing ruins a DayZ experience than like joining a 60-person server and not seeing anyone. You're like, where the hell is everyone? And then you get to the safe zone that's on the base, and there's 30 people just jacking off together in direct comms. Hey fellas, if you want to cyber, go to Discord. Get off DayZ so that there's actual player slots available for people that want to survive and shoot shit and, take on zombie hordes and kill other players. If you want to mess around and chat, get off the DayZ server. Maybe that's the old man. Get off my lawn, you little shit. I'm definitely, that's some like old boomer speak, but it's kind of true, right?
Yeah.
And when you join a server and there's 7 fucking icons that lead you to different traders, and the helicopter trader. I'm sorry, if I'm in the zombie apocalypse, I'm not going helicopter shopping. Okay, I'm not going to get a bunch of rubles together and go to the trading zone, and on the way buy a brand new state-of-the-art military weapon, wave to the other survivors in the fucking apocalypse while I stroll to the helicopter store. Oh, and by the way, I'm in a safe zone, so I can't even physically raise my weapon. Talk about breaking the game. That breaks it in such a terrible way.
Look,
and then you see all these other players just bullshitting, talking, not even playing the game. They just, I guess they need a digital hangout place, which I get that. I totally get that. But there's so many other places to do that.
Can I piggyback off you real quick too, Soma? On that, just the aspect. Fuck yeah. That's something that's always been like a slight pet peeve to me, is like, I understand wanting that in the game, and that would be dope, but having it right off the bat where it's like, where you're taking away that player incentive to work towards building something, right? Like, in my opinion, the draw for me for this type of game was the fact of like, we've wiped the slate clean to allow you to build from, so you can showcase how you would approach this kind of situation. Whereas with some of these mods where they got the traders in and everything, it's like you're just automating the whole experience, so you get such a shallow, for lack of a better term, experience yourself. Because back in the day, we would build up to being those traders, accumulating all that stuff, locking down Green Mountain, and then selling it out, and then you're creating interaction in the community. You kind of take that away once you throw an MP. It's like, putting automotive workers out of work by putting robots all on the line. Like, cool, that's progress and whatever, but there's still some ramifications, right?
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
There was one fun thing to do with the traders that I would do. I would go to the trade zones on those servers that did not have safe zones. So, like the dangerous trading areas.
Black market.
And I would get rid of all my gear, and I would just put on like some civilian clothes, and then just stand my character next to the NPC. And then people would come try to shop, and then I like talk to them and like, your money isn't good around here. Or, like, I'd come up with some sort of voice, or I'd have a gun in my pocket, and as people were shopping and like buying a bunch of shit, I just pull out my handgun and shoot them in the head and take all their shit, and then just stand there and wait for the next dumbass to come.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that was really fun to do. Yeah,
but each to their own. And Scale Speeder did say in chat, and it is kind of true. DayZ wouldn't still be alive if it wasn't for traders and base rating mods. A large proportion of the player base, when it did sink down there, were people who enjoyed the base building side of it. It's each to their own.
That's very true. That's very true. We needed air bears to keep things afloat for a while, right?
I much prefer player-run traders. Player-run traders, but it's very heartbreaking being a player-run trader as well. I've done that on DayZ Down Under, and became the target of one of the bigger factions on the clan, and they raided us and took everything, and it broke my heart. They took my beloved Land Rover that I was so proud of.
Get wrecked.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a lot of work, and you need a good bunch of people, Lou, to manage a good player-run trader.
Oh.
But it's fucking worth it. It's fucking worth it.
I totally agree. I think, and let me just expand a little bit on the point, was not that I don't like, the NPC run stuff. It's just the fact that starting a fresh server and it's already there, and there's no workup towards establishing that.
1 million ruble like starting money, free loadout, and they're the ones that I get it. People like them, Lou, but oh my god, they do my head in.
I mean, maybe it's just the fact of like I'm still kind of old school from the mod days, where it's like we started off with a can of beans and a Makarov with a friggin' mag, and that's all you had. And taking that away feels like diminishing the experience, and kind of like, here's your participation trophy, we're just gonna make this easy for you. It's like I'm torn on it, because at one end, like, you want to be as inclusive to everybody as possible, but I think the approach is just kind of more of a knee-jerk quick fix, instead of let's sit down and think like what could be a way to kind of come to in the middle of the bridge that works for both sides, and doesn't diminish the experience and the intent behind it.
Spud, the chief guy behind DayZ Down Under, he's saying in chat, player-run traders on a populated server are impossible. I tried for many years, and with the amount of glitching, it just does not work. You're just such a big fat target as a trader. Like when I was running one, we were only a crew of about 5 to 6 people. Some of the factions on the server were up to 20 people. So, we couldn't always have someone on manning the shop. We would get those, the bane of my existence, the early morning raids, when no one's on, just a handful of players from the biggest faction, and you'd wake up and log in and your entire base is gone, and it breaks your heart. But each to their own. Some people like the AI ones. There's some pretty good mods out there. A guy by the name of Daone has created a really good interactive mod with the trader, where when you go to purchase an item, your player's head swivels to the right and looks at a bench, and the item you want to buy is actually there on the bench, and you can spin it around, rotate it. Heavily inspired by Call of Duty, he said, where you can actually look at the weapons. It's a really cool mod. He's done an amazing job with it. And that's probably the biggest saving grace for DayZ has been the mods.
100%.
100% agreed. Yeah.
But that's kind of Bohemia's format, isn't it? They create a base game and then allow modders to work their magic.
We definitely wouldn't have DayZ without mods, right?
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, some of the best games ever created. Some of the biggest games ever. I mean, you look at Counter-Strike, you look at Dota, League of Legends, that wouldn't have existed without Ice Frog, the modder, back in the day, right? Like, in my opinion, modding is the most important thing to ever happen to gaming, in my opinion. I really think so. Because you have a dedicated group of intelligent designers and developers. They get paid to do this thing. They're a small elite team, and they have health insurance and a lunchroom and, the 9 to 5. And then they release their art to billions of people, potentially around the world. And I'm sorry, but a collective of millions and millions of people, that brain power is more powerful than the 35 devs who got paid to work on it, right? It's just pure math.
Yeah.
You're going to get some genius motherfuckers that understand what the game is and how to build upon it, more so than the developers themselves. And when you open up tools and allow those millions of potential people to dig in, modify the game, rip shit out, like you see in movies, like it'll be some mechanic and some character will walk in and start ripping stuff out, and the main character's like, hey, we need that. What are you doing with that? And then like this little mechanical guy is like ripping stuff out. You don't need this, and this is too heavy, and this is a waste. Modders kind of do that, and I think it's awesome. And then we get Counter-Strike, we get Dota. It leads the way to League of Legends. We get Survivor games. It leads the way to PUBG, which leads the way to Fortnite, which takes over the world, and every little kid in the world wants to floss dance and watch a ninja fucking stream. Like, that's what happens. It's all the seed, the modding seed.
Got a question for you two. Something Marks and I have been discussing a bit of late on the podcast is monetization of mods. Now, I know there was the whole shit fight with Skyrim, I think it was, and Bethesda looked at monetizing the mods, and the player community got their backs up. But barring a very few exceptional examples, such as Dean Hall and Brendan and that, there's not a lot of money to be made for modders. What are you guys' thoughts on, something I've suggested is, and this is something that Steam could make money from, and even the game devs, is that, there be a similar program to, say, YouTube monetization, that you have to demonstrate your credibility, and then you can apply to become a monetized uploader. And then say, if I want to play on a server that has XYZ mod, I pay a $1 fee to buy the license to use that mod, and say 40% of it goes between Steam and the provider, and the other 60%, so 60 cents, goes to the mod creator. My thinking there is, not only will that encourage better quality mods, but it also encourages people to continue supporting the mods. I know there's a bit of a backlash. There'll be people who say, no, mods should be free, but I just think in today's day and age, that's not really viable. Some of these guys It's a topic I had later on, like War Dog. I saw a post from him in the Discord where he said that basically of all the donations he's received for his mods that he's done, it equates to less than $1 a day for all the work he's done. What do you two think about that?
I'll let
That's
you
a
go
tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, on the one hand, I totally get it. You put in this, like, imagine if we would have gotten a little bit of money for building out Survivor games, beyond selling it, of course, Lou. That would have like helped pay rent, right? While we were all living in that damn house. On the other side of the coin, though, having it just available to anyone because they've already bought a base game and the mods are not employees. I just said a little bit ago that there's like that group of 35 people and they have health insurance and they're paid by the company and they have a 9 to 5 and they build this thing. Modders are typically just a fan of the product and they want to take it to the next level and they're willing to modify that in their spare time when they're done with work or they're done with school or they're done doing whatever it is they do throughout the day to pay that rent. And they then gift that to the world to see if they like their version of what they envision the game to be or how they modify the game. So it's super hard for me because I want to modify Hightail when that game comes out, right? And it'd be nice to know that there'd be some sort of return if we built that out and people started, downloading the mod and playing that in Hightail and it cost them $1.50 to do or something like that. But that $1.50 means there's thousands of people that out of principle just will never play that mod.
See, I see what you're saying, but I kind of look at it the same as streamers. Streamers are essentially fans of a game. In most cases, they start streaming because they enjoy playing it. Maybe someone said to them, "Mate, you should stream it," and it's accepted in society. Sorry, I'm just going to ban someone.
That was weird. Brian's not even here.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about me sucking dicks. And even if I wanted to, come on, what's wrong with that?
Exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm not hungry right now, but thanks for offering.
But
anyway. No, I'm not necessarily bitching about $1, by the way. I just think that there would be a dollar barrier to entry that would lead to thousands of people not playing it. Would I pay $1 to play a cool mod? If Day One Namalsk cost $1 a month, I would pay up front $50 and just say, give me 50 months. I would do that. But I have the ability to do so. When I was 17 and I dropped all my money that I got from working at the sandwich shop or whatever on DayZ, and then I was like, shit, this mod all my friends are playing, it costs money to do that too? Well, fuck. That would suck. But that is such a nitpicky little thing. Everyone's got their own scenarios in life. Do I think modders deserve some love and some money for their work? Yeah, I do. I do think so. But charging for mods, like, give me an example. So if I have DayZ and I want to play Day One Namalsk, are you saying just to download the mods I'd be pay gated?
Potentially, yeah.
What would that?
You would need to buy the license to, maybe they could have it as a test where you get to test the mod, and then after a time period expires, to continue playing, with these mods, you need to pay $1. It's just,
some servers have 20 mods on them, and whenever I go from one server to the next, and those servers have some of the mods I've already paid for, but there's also a few other mods that I didn't even know existed. Suddenly I got to pay an extra $1 for each of those mods. Suddenly you're not just paying $1, you're paying $20 to get a modded server.
And
right?
that again, that's an issue I'm aware of.
I think we're missing something big here.
Yeah.
So, you said, be like YouTube, where you have to apply to get, say, quote unquote, partnership to get paid or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to do it where it was easy and it didn't interrupt the players downloading, the easiest way for Steam to do it, and I don't know if they'd ever be able to do this, they probably wouldn't even do it. Easiest way for them to do it would be to run ads on the Steam Workshop pages. So
But
every time somebody clicks-
who visits the Steam pages though? We've talked about that. I do like what Foxypote said, that maybe when you download a mod there be a pop up. Would you like to donate? Suggesting it. But yeah, because it's just that same
like
issue
that.
again.
How do you incentivize a donation to the modder? Could you say if you donate to this modder, you also get this thing? I don't know. To incentivize, because I think that
people just want it to be as easy as possible.
Yes.
They just want to be able to click and play.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would do it. Maybe they would do it because most people, I think, just download the DayZ standalone launcher and then they just get their mods from there, something like that. Maybe it would have to be some way where it would change in the launcher. So I'm still kind of going off of the ad thing, but change it so when they click to download the mods for that certain server, it takes them to the mod page where they have to manually subscribe to it, and then it goes away, and then it just has those ads there, so it counts as a click. They get money off it because some of those mods out there have 500,000 downloads on them, like, and if everybody individually had to go to that page to subscribe and then click off it,
even a dollar, a dollar is just a throwaway figure. Even if it was fucking 10 cents. As you said, the Molska's got 900,000 downloads or 1 million downloads. Okay. You multiply that by 10 cents, that's still a serious amount of coin. And it encourages and incentivizes modders, Lou, to make better mods that people will want. And, some of these servers that have got 60 mods, some of those servers run like shit because there's so many fucking different mods in the background of the game and so many different items. But it might encourage people to be smarter with the mods they choose, and just a higher quality of mod being made. Again, forget the $1 figure. It could be, like I said, 10 cents. 6 cents per download. Times that by 1,000. What's that? $60.
I mean, if you want to make $100 million company, you want a business idea, make a mod marketplace. That filters mods. There's a mod rating system, and it's for every kind of game. It's console, mobile, and PC, and it's a monetization tool as well for modders. I don't know if that exists. Maybe it does. I just don't know.
You kind of have something like that with Unreal, right? Where you have the engine and then people build stuff for plugins or systems and sell that on their marketplace. It'd be kind of similar, but in the modding space. But, I mean, from my perspective, like, even when they started, what was Bethesda, right? That kind of, or who was it that tried monetizing the mods?
Bethesda with Skyrim.
Yeah, and then how quickly that got out of control in the backlash. So for me, what I would like to see more of is kind of what you saw with Bohemia and Dean, where the company recognizes your work, right? And is like, oh shit, these are the guys that are really making the money for us. Like, these companies need to be hiring these modders as designers. They obviously have the finger on the pulse of the community and know what the community wants. If, you could tell by the people using that mod or playing it. And so it's kind of like your chance to, it's almost like a designer's demo reel, right? Is your mods and how well they've done. And I think that kind of system would cut a lot of the conflict of kind of, you got both sides of the people love it. Some people feel that it cuts a lot of the community out if you start putting price tags on mods. And like someone was saying, like, no one wants to be playing with their buddies and then all of a sudden, like, they hop servers and like, crap, now I gotta drop X amount of money just to play on the server. It's already hassle enough to like, oh, I don't have those mods, I have to install it. If I have to pay on top of that, yeah, I'm fucking done. I'm gonna go do something else.
So you raise a good point there, Luke. And it's something that I've scratched my head about as well, is why don't BI, look, they famously paid Dean Hall millions for the DayZ concept, and it was just a mod. Why aren't they looking at, we all know the DayZ team is nowhere near the numbers it was back in the early days, but they're still a good team and they're still recruiting people. It's not like they're abandoning it, but it'd be really good to see them going to some of the more up quality mods and saying, look, we would like to buy this mod from you, a couple of $1,000, and incorporate it into the game. Because obviously, from what I understand, and you two might be able to help me out here, modders don't have access to the full files of the game. There's stuff that, I famously, I think I remember Brian saying, or was it maybe Sumrak, that yes, they could do helicopters, but they would need to do more to them than what the modders have been able to do with helicopters as it is to make them work truly well. So I don't understand that, the full technicalities of it. But I would love to see, not just in DayZ and BI, but companies actually going to modders and saying, we love what you've made, we'd like to buy it from you. As another way, that could be another thing. If they were to do that as a more accepted thing, then it's a bit of an incentive. I still like the idea of, it's kind of, the only issue I have with it is it feels a bit like when you see big influencers tweet out, do me some artwork, and if I like it, I'll pay you, kind of thing. It's people working in the promise of maybe getting. Yeah, I see you laughing there, Soma.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of just looking at my chat, I have a lot of people now saying that, if mods were to become paywall in front of mods, they'd pay for mods, they just wouldn't download them. They just wouldn't play them. I think because it's an inconvenience, and people just they just want to get it now, and they don't want to have to go through all this fuss of having to pay. And
yeah, like, bro, I got 10 minutes to play with, or not 10 minutes, I got like a couple hours to play with my friends. If they want to hop on a different server I don't have mods for, that's already taken me down. If I have to pay for it on top of that, it's just gonna really solidify for me, like, nah, bro, fucking, I'm gonna go play some Apex or something. I'll catch you later.
like paying for this stuff changed a couple of years ago, because one of the biggest examples I think is Call of Duty. They used to have their season pass every year that you could buy, and it was like €50 extra on top of the game. And suddenly people weren't buying it anymore. They wanted everything for free because Fortnite was doing stuff for free and all that. And now Call of Duty have completely scrapped that idea now, and they give everything for free. People just want all that content. They don't want to have to pay for it.
I get that. I understand it. But it bugs me at the same time, this sense of entitlement that I deserve it just because I exist and it should be free for me. That kind of grates on me. And I know that may piss some people off. But, how many of those people saying they if they had to pay for a mod, they won't do it? How many of them have actually gone and donated to a mod? I'd like to ask them that. And if so, why haven't they? Do they think they're entitled to it just because they live and breathe? These people.
Is there another way? Is there another way you could monetize? Like, think about, Arma 3 mods and stuff like that. If you could put, and I know I'm going to trigger a lot of people here, if you could cleanly put ads inside that stuff, right? And there's where your monetization
That's what I'm saying.
You're driving down Taviana, there's the billboard, and, you hit up freaking X company and be like, yo, how we want to put your advertisement inside this mod that I have X amount of people exposed to, and work out some kind of deal there. That way you're not inconveniencing the player, but the modder is also, able to monetize his work and kind of start working from there. I don't like
that is totally doable, and I'll let you know right now, with major advertisers that have millions of dollars for marketing spends, I'm talking about big companies, think McDonald's and Target and Sony PlayStation, you name it, they want to do this very, very much so. And it's to the point where they are trying to talk to like the creator of GTA RP and that whole server system where you use influencer marketing and you have a streamer inside something like a GTA RP type server, and they are the advertisement, and the brand takes over the city, Los Santos, whatever the fuck it's called, and every billboard in town is Xfinity or Kool-Aid or whatever the brand is, and it is just the city is taken over for a day by that brand for X amount of money, and the streamers that are playing in the server, they're getting paid to do talking points and to drive their car in game and park it in front of the billboard and have some funny RP viral moment that will make it on the live stream fails. Like, this kind of stuff is coming. It's already being talked about. not just with like GTA, I just use that as an example. That kind of shit is coming big time. And I feel like people need to be ready for that because it's going to put a lot of people off.
Yeah, yeah.
Think Ready Player One. There's advertise like if you watch the movie or read the books, that's I thought it was a cool book. Ready Player One's cool, and there's in-game advertising, and even in that book, the main character, to pay rent while he's doing his quest in the book, he's doing influencer campaigns, and he's doing it inside the Oasis as an in-game influencer interacting with the world. Game world.
Yeah,
that shit is coming.
You are dead right in that the same people who are balking at paying maybe 10 cents for a mod, when something like this comes out and a DayZ server is suddenly taken over by sponsorships for XYZ brand on all the billboards around the map, are going to be bitching going, oh, this is ruining my immersion and all the rest of it. Where if they had paid, under another format maybe, they wouldn't be having that. I think all I really want to see is a way for it's so accepted for content creators to be paid, whether it be tips and subscriptions on YouTube and things like that, that a way implemented, because someone said in my chat that it's against terms of service to sell a mod, and that's correct, but there's got to be a way that we can make it more mainstream for modders to get some coin. But get back to your point, mate, that's going to be hilarious when servers are popping up with ads for Coke and stuff like that, and those, as I said, those same people who balk at paying 10 cents for a mod are going to be like, oh, this is terrible, why is this happening? Because you cheaped out and you weren't prepared to pay, so they had to look at other options, and now you've ended up with this. It's kind of like people complain. I remember when they've seen something where they talked about when the internet was first created, and the idea was bandied about there being a license that you had to pay to be able to access the internet. And they said, no, let's make it free for everyone. And it's free for everyone, but what do we get? We get ads everywhere. So what do people do? They buy ad blocker.
Not free. I got to pay my ASP a month, man.
The sponsorship thing would work, like in GTA, it would definitely work. And in DayZ, it could work as well if they made, say, like you're putting the sponsorships on these big billboards or whatever. If they made the billboards look like they were part of the game. So instead of having, you're walking through Churners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
So like if you're walking through Churners and you just see this sparkling Nike ad on here, like that would ruin your immersion. But if it was, I don't know, the sign was corroded and rotten or something, but still had the Nike on, it would work then as well. It wouldn't ruin your immersion as much.
If you can take an asset in a DayZ server, like a military tent, and just put it anywhere the fuck you want, you can take that same asset in the form of a billboard, which is in the items list. I'm assuming the assets list for a server. You could put those wherever you want. If there's like a dirty filter to make it look like it's been there for 10 years in the apocalypse, and then it's just a white billboard where you're imposing an image. Yeah, you could set that up in an hour, right, Lou? I mean, someone that's modern.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm more familiar with Unreal's engine, so I'm gonna kind of think about it from that perspective. It would just be, here's my base BP of this billboard. I assign whatever image, and it's got crap, what are the decals all over it to make it look run down and grunge. And then if I place it, I can sink it in the ground to make it look like it's sunk in there and stuff like that. But the other thing too with this stuff is you can have the best of both worlds in a sense, where you have the server where it's free, or if you paid for the content, you go to that ad-free server, and then maybe there's just a deal between the modders and the game company of, hey, you can charge X amount for your mod, but we still get a percentage of that because you're basically using all the stuff we've spent time creating as well. So there's also that, like, yeah, modders are putting their work into it, but they're working off the work of other people as well. So it's not just pure free money, in my opinion.
There's a business idea, Soma. Someone create a basically, like, it kind of pains me to say this, but an honourable MCN that works with modders and links them with businesses that are prepared to pay money to have their assets included in a mod pack, and they package it around. You've got something like Helkiana's Much Stuff pack. Most servers that particularly our bases have that mod, and she could add some items that make it a condition of having the mod that you have to have these items in as part of the permission, and they're getting that brand exposed to hundreds of thousands of people through the mods. So that's maybe an option.
Yeah, that would be some like tech-based creative agency, right? It would be just new marketing solutions that uses developers, not just like some marketing guy or gal. Yeah, I mean, that's super viable. The way you would have to figure that out is how do you scale it when you have tons of customers? Do you build tools so that a few employees can build that, or do you hire a fuck ton of people around the world that can service tons of customers? And then you have to ask yourself, what's the market for that? Are there tons of customers that even want something like this? Because if you build something amazing and there's only 10 people on the planet that want to buy it, well, yeah, not awesome. So no, that's a good idea though.
Yeah, and if someone was to do this, they could target the successful mods out there, because you can go in and you can actually look and see how many downloads there are of a mod, and they can say, look, we see you've got X amount of downloads of your mod, we would like to approach you about, and as you said, it's so easy to create custom marketing stuff that suits the theme. Look at Fallout. They've got their unique style of advertising that they have for their items, and I know they're Nuka-Cola and that, but just imagine if they were to modify that for some items as well, Marks. That's a potential good idea.
Look at Death Stranding. Yeah. Look at Monster Energy Drink just front and center in Death Stranding. That turned a lot of people off, and they just designed those monster cans into the game. Like, that was a plan that they had for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was essentially what kept Norman Reedus's character alive, right? Which is fucking insane. That's just the beginning, which is like scary and sad to say.
Didn't PUBG initially start with cans of Red Bull?
I don't know if it was actually Red Bull. I think
it was same color.
Yeah, same color, and it was just called Energy. Yeah, it was energy drink or whatever. It was.
See, that would have been a simple marketing solution to have made probably quite a few $1 million there. Red Bull go to them and say, how about we pay you to actually use our brand?
Yeah, but it's not that easy. So Red Bull as a brand, global brand, and they're very much a lifestyle brand. They like to attach themselves to extreme sports, and like the Red Bull Flutog event, and athletes and lifestyle groups that might be involved with like esports. Like when I worked at Tempo Storm, our biggest sponsor was Red Bull, but they weren't like super keen on having their logo slapped around a bunch of Hearthstone tournaments. Mm-hmm. What they wanted was to see interactive, cool content. They wanted to see Raynad and myself and some of the Tempo Storm guys travel around the world with a 4K, Red Raven camera, which we did. We did the first ever live stream out of a helicopter when we flew over Sydney, Australia, with a 4K camera. It looked like a Hollywood movie. It was crazy. Yep. They wanted to attach the brand to that shit. Red Bull is a very specific case, though, right? So when they say, what is this modder who has our can in a game where it's like 50 people just killing each other in this game? Is this going to move the needle for us? Should we sue them? Is this important to us? And they couldn't see the future at the time. They had no idea that this was about to give birth to a new genre with millions of players and a mobile game that would go to China and make $1 billion there. They didn't know what PUBG was. So if you are willing to take risks, and some brands are, many are not, you don't know where you should put your marketing dollars. You don't know who to trust. And a lot of marketing companies want to only place bets on sure things. And placing a bet on a mod like PUBG, or like a little game like PUBG, when it was very nerdy and hardcore, and it wasn't, some like downhill bicycle race for Red Bull, where they know that they can put their shit all over the place and they can have buckets of ice filled with Red Bull and Red Bull models and people hanging out in this like physical space. They didn't know what to expect with a video game. But yeah, for us, it's a no fucking brainer. But for like some boomer marketing team that doesn't get it, they don't take risks like that. It's very rare.
You were going to
Well,
say
you
something,
can see
Mark?
that now with you can see that with like Fortnite, and they team up with like Marvel now and stuff like that.
And that's
You know,
only
probably
because Fortnite became a global
so
phenomenon.
popular. Yeah.
Let's
If
face
Fortnite
it,
stayed, yeah.
DayZ would
What?
be a nightmare to advertise on.
It potentially.
No, it'd be goldmine for like Sportsman Guide or some companies like that.
Yeah, I feel like
It'd
it could
take a
really
brave
work,
company.
though.
It'd take a brave
It
company.
would take a
though.
brave company, and it would take content creators also getting paid as influencers to do a campaign to make sure that they were playing the game and showing that on screen, walking to where, the Dick's Sporting Goods billboard was in the server, right? Like they're gonna have to pay a streamer to play the game, stream it to their audience, actually walk their ass to that billboard, show it off, have some cool moment that's clippable,
Or
that's
not even
brandable.
not even a billboard. Like for example, say you're doing Dick's Sporting Goods or say Walmart, something like that. You could turn the traders into like a Walmart,
Yep.
something like that. Maybe it could even work.
That's true. That's
You know?
definitely true.
Like,
There's
dude,
ways to
you
do
give
it.
me,
There's a lot of creative ways. Yeah.
yeah, you give me a mod team, I could give you a prototype, and
Yeah.
like it's definitely doable when you think about the existing mods out there, like you were saying with the shops and stuff. You just basically reskin them with whatever Dick's or Sportsman's Guide or whoever.
Hey, Soma, Scale Speeder just gave me an idea. How much would Stream Elements pay to sponsor the gap in my teeth?
See that. Maybe about 15K. You'd have like a whole list of talking points. At least 2 hours of sponsored material a week with a full branded suite of brandable assets. You'd have to have a panel banner down below with tracking links. We'd have to have some chatbot messages spit out. We'd have to have some social beats that you'd have to hit. Maybe an affiliate program for people that also want gaps in their teeth. They save 50%. We're gonna have to make sure we get the whole fucking shebang going. We can get it going for about 15K.
You lost me, mate. That's way over my head. I'm the original fucking Puma. You lost me after, what the hell? What's you talking about? Bloody promo banners and links and affiliate links and, oh my god.
There's a lot. There's more. There's bigger packages I could have sold you, but that's what 15K buys you.
Okay, so guys, question from Scale Speeder in chat. If you were advising the DayZ marketing team, what should they do to sell more copies of the game?
Fuck, man. That's a hard question.
Team up
Yeah,
with
I don't know,
content
marketing's
creators.
not my thing.
I'm gonna tell you what I reckon. They need to bring back fucking Survivor games. They need to bring it back. There is still a market for it. I've been watching the PUBG PGIS tournament and loving it because there's no fucking Survivor games to watch. Survivor games is a brilliant concept. Yes, I know you probably wouldn't have the same audiences that maybe PUBG is getting, but that said, they're only getting in the English-speaking version. I don't know how many they're getting in the Asian language ones, but there's 15 to 20,000 people watching each night, a 3-hour long with 5 or 6 games in each one. If they could bring back the original format Survivor games, get the likes of Shroud, Smoke, The Running Man, Summit 1G, those other big name people, XQC and all the rest of them. I would love to see a truly skill-based one, so like what PUBG are doing, where it's not just the big name guys, it's the guys who are the best at the game. But to start with, I think if they were to do a celebrity influencer, streamer, whatever you want to call them, Survivor games, that would be massive for DayZ.
Honestly, if I was advising the day, first of all, they'd have to spend money. They'd have to spend a lot of money on the Survivor Games product. And if the goal here is advising the marketing team on how they can sell more copies, they're looking to spend the least amount of money as possible with the biggest ROI on their marketing campaign. So what I would do is I would go to like 100 to 2,000 concurrent viewer streamers, and I would pay them to do one sponsored stream a week every week for a couple of months and make sure that I coordinate with these streamers so that everyone is live at least once a day. There's some streamer live that week in a 2-hour segment. And I would build some sort of affiliate program where if anyone bought the game through their link,
Yes.
either the streamer got a kickback,
Yes.
or the person buying it got some sort of discount on the game. And then I would also create a program that would encourage other people to broadcast the game as well. So if you buy this game through Smoke's channel link,
Yep.
and you download it and you pay for it and buy it, well, guess what? Because you got it through this link, the DayZ marketing team or the DayZ team is going to send you a Twitch overlay that you can use in your own DayZ stream that we have created for free for you. So it's a cam box, and it's some stream overlay border for you, and bam, you get that as a gift for buying it from Smoke Stream. And now that encourages you to create content with the DayZ cam box and jump into the DayZ ecosystem on Twitch, and then that rolls into the next guy and the next guy and the next guy.
I love
You could
DayZ.
you could put something together like that for, I don't know, $200,000, $300,000, maybe $400,000, $500,000, depending on how many broadcasters you want. The flight time, which means how many months will that last, and a bunch of other things. But I would try to build something like that with their marketing team.
I love DayZ, but I get the feeling they've been very, very lucky that they've got such a loyal player base of people like the Running Man, Toprek, Minder, Smoke, who've continued to play this game when everyone else abandoned it. And I would love to see more love shown. And I think an affiliate link for them to have that takes them to the BI website, whether it be if they purchase a fucking DayZ hoodie or a copy of the game, they get a couple of bucks because I think most of those guys would easily have accounted for thousands of purchases of the game. And I would, again, as much as I said, my focus of late has been about modders and getting recompense for them. I firmly believe that, some love towards the content creators who stayed loyal to the game would be great.
I think also, just to bring people back, they need to evolve the game a bit. They need to have like a really big update that adds something new. The game is old now. Let's be real here. It's been around a long time. And you have to forgive a game if it loses some of its life after tons of years. Right? I mean, like, just natural. New shit comes out. New experiences are there to experience and have fun with. You can't expect a $60 game to live for a decade. Like, that's some crazy shit. Like, DayZ had an amazing lifespan for a few years, and it was like, what, a $30 game?
Yeah.
Hello, that's applause worthy. Fucking bow down. Like, that is so hard to achieve. Even if it is dead, it lived an amazing life. So you can't talk shit about it. So to try to sell more copies today, 9 years later, the game came out a long time ago, and obviously in the mod form, the standalone version is only like 6 or 7 years old or whatever. Still, though, for the game to have made it this far and still have like peak players and still make money at all, that is impressive as fuck. And people don't give it enough credit. Like, that's a huge deal. Yeah. Most games do not last like this. Straight up.
What do you two guys think about the 10-cent deal?
I wouldn't get too worried about it. Tencent is putting their fingers in every pie in the world. They have billions of dollars, and it is this like diabolical takeover of the gaming industry, but not gaming only, just entertainment in general. Having a piece of a little bit of everything that's entertainment, especially in a day and age where digital content and entertainment is being utilized and watched and fed into more and more and more. They're just smart, unfortunately. And it sucks that Tencent is attached to the CCP, because fuck them. But
thank you. And it's called Taiwan, not fucking Chinese Taipei.
No, you're right. It is Taiwan. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not like a big fan of Tencent by any means. I want to mod Hytale. I want to make a full loot, hardcore, open world PvP game in Hytale. So it looks kitty and cute.
Sorry,
but it's
what's
really
Hytale?
hardcore.
What's Hytale for those of us who don't know?
Hytale is, so there was a Minecraft modding group called Hypixel, and they had some of the biggest, best mod packs ever, and they made money from it. So there's a modding success story. And they decided to make their own studio called Hypixel Studios, and they said, well, why don't we just make our own game? Let's just make an updated Minecraft 2.0 of all the shit we could possibly want in our own version of Minecraft. And they have been building that with this company called Hypixel Studios, and it looks like new age Minecraft with RPG elements and like legendary and magic and epic weapons and questing and like some cool RPG elements. And some really cool shit that I want to take and modify to make like this, what looks like Minecraft, but in reality it's this hardcore PvP full loot fucking Diablo 2 meets DayZ inspired like PvP slog in this big open world. And what's crazy is before this game has even come out, they released this big trailer, an announcement trailer like a year or two ago, and it had like tens of millions of views or something crazy. So there's this ravenous appetite for something like that. And Riot Games, which is, you know, owned by Tencent, they said, hey, why don't we just buy this studio before this game even comes out and they make $1 billion and the price tag gets too crazy. So they bought Hypixel Studios because they're betting that the game is going to be a huge global phenomenon. And you know what? It probably will be. But what they're doing is really smart. They have bought the farm before the farm has even produced one fucking thing to sell at the market, which is insane. That is some massive foresight. So you have to applaud them for that. But once again, it's Tencent gobbling shit up. Yeah, they use Riot Games' mouth, but the body it's connected to is Tencent. And Tencent has their fingers in everything. Grinding Gear Games and Epic Games and Riot Games and now Bohemia Interactive and film studios and development studios around the world. It's insane the reach that they have, and every year you just see the power creep continue, right? Like they're just grabbing more and more and more. What does this mean for the future? I couldn't even begin to fucking guess. I'm assuming it's going to be shitty, but who knows?
So
I
the
expect the worst.
I remember years ago, Tencent done some where GTA has always been famous for its modding of single player. They leave modders mod the heck out of it. And when GTA 5 came out, it might have been a year or so afterwards, Tencent came in and banned people modding GTA 5 for like a couple of days or something like that. Or they were going to anyway, they were about to. And they had so much backlash from it that they actually I had to take a look at it and went, okay, like we won't ban it, because all the modders were changing all their stuff to screw 10 cents and all this, all their reskinning everything, and yeah, they've messed up a few times like that as well. So,
it'll be interesting to see where it all goes.
That lad's saying in chat you can see a lot more Chinese servers now popping up for DayZ as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I don't know if that has anything to do with a 10-cent investment. It's got to be something else. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't see how it correlates, but there could be correlation.
So we'll start to move on to the agenda items. As always, when I have you on, Soma, and you as well, Lou, we're an hour and a half in and we haven't even hit the actual real topic list that we started. But I just love having you guys, you sort of guys on as guests, because you're so knowledgeable and so informative about DayZ. But I was hoping to get an update on Icarus from Brian, but we'll have to skip on that one. But I don't know whether you guys saw it. There's been a bit of a thing of late talking about scripted content. And a guy named It's Mike Doherty.
This video was great.
Now I bet you're wondering, how did I get so many AKMs? Well, what if I told you?
Basically, he was taking the piss out of JLK.
Yeah.
Because he does all these movies and stuff. He kind of mocked him, thinking what people think it takes to make one of those videos.
We can totally raid this.
But it's totally different. It takes weeks and weeks to do a video like that.
Oh, with all the editing and everything?
Yeah, he's like, spawning stuff in, pretending that's how they actually do it, when in actual fact you have to grind for everything. But it was a really funny video.
I went on an epic loot journey up north to get enough gear, guns, and tools necessary to raid this base.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
What happened? Ah, no, there is audio.
Dude.
Can you imagine that? You just hit a God mode button.
I was geared enough to go back and raid them. Let's go. Let's go. I had killed everyone inside. Now it's time for the loot. Oh, they've got so much loot. Oh.
I just loved it because it was a good shit post of one of the guys who he had the biggest, most viewed video in DayZ last year, JLK. But JLK took it on the chin and actually retweeted it and shared it out there, and just I love good-natured shit posting like that, Soma. I get the feeling watching your face, you enjoyed that as well. You could see the he put a good effort into it. He put a good effort into it.
It's fun to take the shit out of stuff too,
yeah.
Right? Like it's fun, especially when there's no hurt feelings and everyone's good-natured about it. That makes it way better. Now, if there was some big dramatic mess out of it and like some Twitter beef war started,
yeah, fuck
then
that
you
shit.
just gotta roll your eyes and move on. But when people laugh about it and everyone can kind of high five and have a good laugh and move on, that's good, wholesome, good stuff right there.
It was really, really good. It was really good, and I love seeing things like that. Another one that we had was a question, and I'm very interested in you guys' opinion on this. Why are smokes used so little in DayZ? And the overwhelming response to this Twitter poll by Chris Kapow was they aren't effective. Have you guys ever used a smoke grenade yourself in DayZ? I only ever use them for shit posting, holding your hand and run down the road. I use
them all the time.
I use smokes, I use grenades, I use light sticks, I use flashbangs, I use everything.
I mean, it really depends on like your application of it, right? Like, what are you guys finding so ineffective about them?
Yeah, it all depends on creativity of use as well. Like, I love to have a grenade. Let's just say it's like a regular frag grenade. I like to infiltrate a group and act like I'm a fresh spawn and have nothing, right? Like I just walk up, just grenade in my pants, they don't see it. And I just play Namalsk these days. So I'll go sit by the fire with everyone and I'll just pretend like I'm just a guy hanging out and I'll say, hey, I'm gonna grab some firewood, some sticks, I'll be right back. And I'll drop my grenade in the fire when no one's looking. I'll walk away. I'll wait for the explosion because the grenade gets cooked in the fire. I'll walk back, collect all the loot, and I'll move on. And then maybe I'll find a smoke grenade.
Did you put a clip of that on Twitter?
I think there is a clip, actually.
Yeah, I think I remember watching that and just thinking, you cheeky evil bastard. I love it.
Yeah, see, I'm not very creative with content. I'm one of those boring old cunts that just wants to go and kill everyone. That's me. I'm that low-brained piece of shit that just wants to engage in brainless PvP. Like that's how I get my jollies. Which to each their own. I know some people need more depth to their content. They want to see someone like Smoke, who's clearly a better streamer. But that's me. You know, I like to just run in and like fuck with people and get some cool kills. But yeah, smoke grenades. Like I'll use smoke grenades to flush people out of barracks or to trap someone, to set up an ambush. I'll use light sticks to distract people. Smokes are amazing for zombies. Smoke grenades are great. You just have to remember to use your tools.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will get items in game, and they'll shove it on their belt or in their inventory, and they just forget to use them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't always have to just like sprint in with your gun and just start shooting. Sometimes you can hide in the tree for a second and think tactically and use your consumables. And I think when you do figure out a clever way to use a smoke grenade or a stun grenade or something like that, it just makes you feel more satisfied. And especially people are watching and they see you use tools, whereas the other streamers they watch would just run in and blast someone. It makes for the viewing experience to be more exciting. It's something that Ninja used to do with Fortnite. The way he would build was unique, but he would use the weird little consumables in Fortnite in really funny fucking ways that no one had ever seen before, and that's how we went viral on Instagram. And that's how Drake saw his Instagram clips. Like, wow, look at the way he used this item that everyone always ignores. He just got a fat, amazing viral video on Instagram because he used this consumable no one ever uses. Whoa, I mean, I want to watch this guy more. So using tools in game to be creative, especially as a content creator, can be the difference between no one giving a shit about your stream and some people watching it because you're the smoke grenade guy who figures out how to use them, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they're cool and fun to use.
Mike Doherty is saying here that there is a bit of a bug with them where even when you're standing in the smoke, you can be seen straight through it 90% of the time.
Oh, they're terrible for stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, obviously, if there's a bug involved, then your usage is going to drop off. So that's for...
It's not a bug. We call them features. Unintended game features.
To be able to see someone through something that's supposed to make you not be able to see someone? I mean, if the design intent is not working, you know, it's a bug.
Right.
But, I mean, yeah, I would say no one's going to use it if it's broke.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
Once that's corrected, like, there's a shit ton of use for them in general. Previous iterations, we've used them, or I've used them personally for, you know, buddy gets hit by a sniper, just dumping smoke around his body to obscure it so you can low crawl in, get him back up into the fight. And if you can't identify where the fire is coming from, you know, build yourself up a nice little screen to pull out with. You know, like Soma was saying, you can use that stuff for room clearing, adrex for marking targets for other people in your team, depending on how tactical you like to play.
Or as Dancy Jesus said in chat, for helping lost players find you.
Yep, exactly.
Actually, you guys probably know this one as well. It's something I've mentioned to people as well, that for those who aren't of a very military mind, but it's a great way for if you're meeting up with someone, you get them to throw a smoke grenade because there's different coloured smoke grenades, and chopper pilots in particular used to do it when they were going to do a drop or go in to pick someone up. They would tell the troops on the ground to throw a smoke grenade, then they would confirm the colour, and the person replies back, yes, violet is correct. And if it was a different colour, then you knew it was an enemy had thrown the smoke grenade to. So there is uses for them. But yes, I think, honestly, what you said, Lou, that people, and it only got 9.8%, but people forget about them. I know I do. I actually voted they aren't effective, but now that I think about it more, I generally, like even fucking frag grenades, I forget I've got them on me as well.
You just got to remember what you actually have and just figure out creative ways to use it. Like, I have the element of surprise right now. Should I run in and try to get a kill, or should I use these consumable objects that I have and then keep my element of surprise but have this new thing that they weren't expecting on the board that I've put there, you know? So there's I mean, back in the day when Lou and Brian and I used to play DayZ together, all being ex-military and just tactfully minded in general, just anyway, we would approach the game in a very specific tactical way, and that's why we got viewership back in the day.
It was a different playstyle that no one else was doing, so that kind of set us apart from everybody. But there's also, like, the more creative you can be with the tools you have and use them in ways that no one else is doing, not only is it going to make the game, you know, enjoyable again for you, because it's going to feel like a different game, you know, depending on how much of an entertainer you are, that can also, if you're a streamer, boost your viewership. So I think there was a rough patch way back before 1.0 on DayZ, and then things we hadn't gotten an update for a while, so I was trying to look for something to switch it up while I was streaming, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go like max survival mode, like only stuff you can craft. I'm only gonna wear leather, and I'm only gonna use a bow, and it's like a unique challenge, right? So I'm not gonna use guns or anything. I'm just gonna see how far I can get with this bow and arrow. And my numbers like doubled for the week I was doing it, just because it was something different. It was unique. I was able to make it humorous because I'm trying to go against dudes with like drum mags and freaking grenades and stuff, and all I am in leather armor with a makeshift bow. So it's just really on how you approach it with the content.
And actually, another good use for smoke grenades as well is one of the big issues you see with a lot of people when they're playing is giving target indications to where the enemy is. And if you have a smoke grenade, you can throw it in the direction of the enemy and use it as a reference point. Reference my smoke, 11 o'clock, or to the north, or something like that. So, yeah, you're dead on the money about being more creative with the utilities at hand.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes some items just suck, like straight up, but they might suck 9 times out of 10, but then there's this 10th time or this 10th way that you could use it, and then it changes the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's several different games over the years that give you a bunch of consumables and like little tools you can use, utility stuff. And when I was younger, especially, I would ignore a lot of that shit and just like concentrate on like the main thing that I do or whatever. And then I just started to actually use these little tools and these little things that the game would give me. And if you use them correctly, it could, mean surviving an encounter or unlocking something you didn't expect or getting somewhere new, or I don't know. I like when I used to not like being cursed with choice for how I'm going to approach something. It was too much. Like, make it simple, stupid. I just want to do this thing. The older I get, I'm like, give me options. I want to fuck with people in new ways, That's kind of how I look at it.
Oh, dude, and DayZ is such a great game to, Jam used to do a bunch of like social experiments.
Yep.
And that kind of gameplay is hilarious. I remember, I forget who I was playing with, but we were up on the coast and we just kidnapped people, take their blood, and then when we went, closer to raid Northwest and stuff, if we capture someone, you could do hostage exchange or just swap out their blood. They think you're letting them go, and then they fall over dead because you gave them the wrong blood type like a couple minutes later. So like just unique trolling opportunities that just give you stories for later on, and like shoot shit with your boys.
There was a Kiwi lad who was doing social experiments as well at the same time as Jamjar. It was they were really cool to watch. I enjoyed those videos back in the day. It kind of highlighted just how unique DayZ was.
Oh, for sure.
Gigi Sammy's his name, the Kiwi guy who was doing them. But we had another point raised, and again, I'd be interested in you guys' opinion on this. Maybe this is a dumb idea for some, but I'm thinking adding DayZ creator skins for guns would be cool. So they can already, so cool. They can already creator skins in modded. So if DayZ added like a workbench in most factories, allowing us to use it with the weapon to add a skin would be so cool, in my opinion. Again, looking at what you were talking about, Soma, about ways to reward creators, that could be one. If you like your favourite person, you can earn a Twitch drop because you've only got to look at the success that Escape from Tarkov, that PUBG, Rust recently have had with Twitch drops. DayZ's missing out on a market there.
Yeah, it all depends on what kind of money situation they have going on there, what kind of budgets they have. If the folks in charge of marketing teams and whatnot and the budgets are smart enough to stay up on trends that are working, like Twitch drops. I'm sure they know what a Twitch drop is, but maybe they had one meeting where they're like, yeah, maybe we should have the Twitch drop. What do you guys think in the meeting? Everyone's like, yeah, why not? Maybe. And then they just go on with their day, and they do their day-to-day tasks, and it doesn't actually go anywhere after the initial subject was brought up. Are they a bunch of boomers over there? I don't know. We don't know the state of their team. Yeah, or how much money they have. But getting Twitch drops and working with Twitch is expensive.
Yeah.
course. Yeah, dude, working with the Twitch sales team, Twitch marketing, all that has a fucking massive price tag. Like when I was working at Twitch back in the day, if you were a brand that wanted to get some ad banners and maybe like a 30-second pre-roll ad and then maybe some added value with that and like a few streamers do some hashtag ad streams for you, I hope you have a minimum of $250,000 just to start the conversation. Fuck yeah, and that was 2016. Imagine 5 years later what price tags on getting a front page slot for your product is. Just imagine how much it costs to get a pre-roll ad that no one's going to watch anyway on Twitch. 6 figures. 100%, because Twitch is the new age video game magazine. I don't get Electronic Gaming Monthly or Nintendo Power in the mail anymore because there's Twitch and no one reads print. So if you want to know what's happening in the world of gaming and nerd culture, you watch YouTube or Twitch. And those old school video game magazines used to charge thousands of dollars for ads in the back of the magazine, right? But the barrier to entry was, are you going to pay for this magazine to show up to your physical address and then open up that book physically, and we have no idea if you're actually doing it because we can't track you with your data? That shit's gone. We have a free to use website with shit tracking at all fucking times now, and we know exactly who's clicking on what. We know how many eyeballs and how many impressions are based around an ad, how many people have tuned in, how many unique viewers have touched the front page alone today, how many clicked that one link to this video, which then clicked to this affiliate link or whatever. All that shit's trackable now. So you can actually price it properly and also inflate said price when you're the biggest guy on the block. When you're Twitch and you're the king of live streaming, jack the prices up. No one's going to Mixer. Mixer died. You got to come to Twitch. Therefore, if there's 1 million brands and this is the price tag to work with Twitch, and that automatically pushes out 900,000 of those brands because they just can't afford it, fuck it. We have 100,000 people or companies that can spend that money, and they know they have to if they want to get in front of the eyeballs that are important to them for their product. So they're going to spend that money. There's always going to be a company or a brand or a marketing team or a creative agency that is willing to cut the check to work with a platform like Twitch. Always, forever. Until Twitch goes away. Which won't happen.
Mate, I am having one hell of a 1-year anniversary. I've had to ban 2 people in chat today. I can count on probably both my hands the amount of people I banned on my channel. But coming in with a message like that, mate, that's just, no, that's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Oh, I missed it. I think I missed it. Was it about me again? Was it?
No, it was about the podcast. Yeah, he made an offensive remark about autism, and I'm not big on giving words too much power, but the context it was used in, I'm not in the mood, particularly with the news I got this morning, which we'll cover later. But yeah,
no problem, all good.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah. I would love to see something done there, but I just had no idea about the costs that were involved. That's some insane coin there.
Yeah, but why even bring Twitch into this? This is something I would see more of like the CSGO approach, right? Community-driven content. So you have artists within your community creating the skins, throwing them up on a marketplace for people to purchase and use as alternative skins for what's already in the game, right?
Yep.
So I have this black and red flannel, but someone made this dope ass material swap for it that turns it into like a Louis Vuitton button up. Like, hell yeah, here's $2, let me get that, so whenever I find that item, I can apply this skin. Alternatively, if you're a streamer and you have, artist support, maybe they whip you up a custom one that you can sell from your Twitch page. Like,
love it.
Why even...
Or have a store link on the main menu of the game as well that they just take them to a website or something.
Yeah, why rely on Twitch when you can start, if you have the skill set, market yourself.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to rely on Twitch. That's true. There's plenty of options. Twitch is just one avenue for advertising that someone could take or a company could take.
I just think it's not as open to like your individual, right? Like, if you're a
100%
corporation, sure.
You're right. It's definitely not. Yeah. That's when you go to, like, Stream Elements, for instance. We're selling, like, digital ads and putting together hashtag sponsored streams and whatnot. But we are not an Amazon-owned billion-dollar platform. We're like 90 people who work from home, right? So we don't charge $250,000 just to start having the conversation, right? It's completely different. There's other solutions out there. You don't have to go to the platform itself, right? There's other methods for advertising and whatnot. Just so you guys know, I got about 5 minutes left, and then I have to go do this work call and have this work event.
No worries, mate.
Yeah.
Bohemia needs to stop being lazy and just start promoting their game.
Say again.
Bohemia needs to stop being lazy and needs to start promoting the game more. There, I said it.
Yeah, well,
Hate me.
I don't think it's laziness. I think it's, do we have the money to put money into this right now? And is it smart for us to try to put marketing dollars into one of our older products when we have earned media in the form of this podcast and Smoke doing free streams and Shroud showing up once a month to stream DayZ and getting a little burst of money, or a DayZ employee who is making a Namalsk mod for free on the side? We didn't have to pay this guy extra, and he built a mod that brought back tons of players and spiked our playership. Why spend the money? Fuck it. They're getting all this earned shit for free. They're probably just twiddling their thumbs, just smoking a cigar, like, look at this fucking earned stuff we're getting for free. We don't even have to spend $1, and our own employee is making a mod that is going to make our game better on the side when he's done at work. And some of the biggest streamers in the world are going to play our game. We don't have to send them $1, and we don't have to have them put a hashtag ad on it. Dude, they're fucking loving it. They're loving it.
You think, though, even with all that free promo, the updates would get better, or they'd add more to it. I know they're concentrating on both places.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
They need to start adding more content. It's getting a bit ridiculous now at this stage.
I agree. That's a whole nother conversation.
Especially for the console players.
Yeah, so you're saving money on marketing. You're saving marketing resources. So how do you reallocate those funds? I don't know, maybe fucking hire one of these amazing modders, hire them full time to build out some cool new feature set, or to finally fix choppers and fix the console version of the game or something like that. You reallocate funds, but most companies do not reallocate funds like that properly. They take those funds and maybe they put it in employees' pockets, or the CEO gets an extra check. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just, making a generalized statement on it. But you never know where that money really goes. You don't know how resources are reallocated unless a company is being super open and honest about it, which companies don't fucking have to do that. So why would they? Unless it's like a publicly traded thing and you're a shareholder and you want reports, quarterly reports, you're on a public board or something like that, but that's all rare too. So
nice comment there. Adam is DayZ's biggest marketing asset at the moment. Some reckon. Indeed.
I hope that guy's getting an extra paycheck or a bonus.
Yeah,
that guy, he deserves at least an employee of the fucking month plaque or something. He deserves a little bit of love, dude. Come on, man.
God damn.
There's something for the community to fundraise for. We'll make Adam an Employee of the Month award.
Something, dude. Yeah.
He's actually doing very well on Twitch. I keep telling him he needs to turn on the subscribe button, but he refuses to do it because he doesn't feel right about doing it when it's his job. So, yeah.
To be a moral person. Ugh.
Well, I think we will let you go, Soma. There's a lot of a couple of more topics to talk about, but we need to let you go, mate, because you've got to pay the bills. Thank you so much for coming on, mate. I love having you as a guest. I'll definitely, probably in another few months' time, look at squeezing you in again, because your mind is just full of so much information. You should do your own podcast or just talking about this shit, mate.
People keep telling me that I should do some sort of content around the business of streaming. And I don't mean just like, how do I get my channel to grow, but like all the other shit that rolls around it.
Look at the success of Devin Nash. Look at the success of Devin Nash. His channel's blowing up, and that's what he does. You know, he talks about stuff about, you know, how to grow your channel, but he also talks about stuff like one of my favourite videos of his. I know Marks isn't a fan of him, but he did a video, Why Twitch is a Pimp. And yeah, he streams on Twitch. He works with Twitch apparently. But
I know Devin quite well. He works at Nerd Fusion, well, Nova, with Sevidus. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, I know all those cats. Yeah, they're smart guys.
Yeah,
they're smart guys. I don't have the dedication to the business side like Devin, though. He's like, at this point, he's became a like business content creator, like about the business of streaming. I'm too simple. I just want to like get the stream going and like smoke a joint, have a glass of wine, and blast some dum-dums online.
Yeah, but like,
shit, you know?
I'll use Marks as an example, mate. Marks doesn't. Devin Nash rubs him the wrong way, and I can see that because he is quite an opinionated guy. But I can look past that because he's fucking knowledgeable. You have a much different personality type, so that would be your market for people who don't want. You know, when Devin gets on a roll, he's almost talking at a speed you can barely fucking follow him on. Yeah, his mind's almost ahead of what's the words that are coming out of his mouth, so he kind of gets a bit jumbled at times. Whereas you're much more laid back, and you'd probably find, like, I'm pretty sure if you were to start doing videos like that, Mark's would probably be one of your first subscribers.
I don't know Devin Nash anyway.
That's funny. I know Devin Nash has some fans and some folks that aren't as thrilled. That's just the reality of being a content creator, right?
You're never going to have everyone like you.
I like Devin. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for inviting me. I would love to be on again. Marks, I wish we would have gotten to chat a little bit more on this. I know we sort of said a few things to each other, but good to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Lulu, I love you, buddy.
Love you, baby.
Sweet voice. No, Lou and I go way back. Love Lou.
Do you guys need a room for a moment?
Dude, we used to have a room. It's fine. And they've done that. Come on. I wish that Brian would have showed up. That really sucks.
Yeah.
Shame on him, but he's our friend, so we won't shame him forever. But that sucks. Eventually, we're gonna get Brian on.
Yes.
I'd love to come back, and we'll try to get Brian to actually show up. But this was fun as always. I really enjoyed doing this.
Love having you on, mate. Love having you on.
Yeah. Every few months, I'll make an appearance.
Awesome. We'll definitely schedule.
Yeah.
And I'd like, as you said, I'd like to get the three of you on because I love the synergy between you old school guys who were there when DayZ was, you know, just
a little baby.
Yeah. Yep. All the best, mate.
All right,
good luck with your job.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are around later on Twitch and you want to see Zack Snyder and Joe Manganiello talk about Snyder's Cut, Justice League on HBO Max, I've been setting that up for about 10 days, and they're jumping on with Man vs. Game later on. So,
and I just shared in chat your Twitter and your Twitch link as well. All the best, mate.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your podcast.
You too.
Later.
Yeah.
So it's just you now, Lou, with us?
Just me.
Mate, did you hear about the big workshop purge that just happened?
To be honest, I'm quite kind of out of the loop, just given, you know, how 2020's been and work and everything.
So Dwarden, who is the guy at BI that takes care of this sort of stuff, I actually reached out to him. And he said it was nothing special, just the usual cleanup of stolen IP, intellectual property, breach of stream workshop terms of service, or Armour 3 DayZ end user license agreements. He said it was usually it's IP content taken without written approval from the IP owner, e.g. us, other game developers, community makers, etc., or attempts to sell the content, e.g. the mod is non-functional in some way until paid. There was actually a couple of mods in particular. There was one by a guy called Nightwolf that was a chopper-based one that you had to pay him, I believe, hundreds of dollars to be able to get the mod to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that kind of rolls back to the whole. This is why I'm so on the fence, because I do believe modders should get paid for their work, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, you got choppers working, you want me to pay you the game's not even $100. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, bro? On top of the fact that, like, from what it sounds like, he's using, you know, intellectual property that's not even his, and he's trying to make money off it as well. So, like, I'm not legal savvy on a lot of this stuff. My main focus is just, you know, designing cool stuff for people to experience in games right now. So, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the logistics behind, you know, whatever legal's doing, but that just the fact that he's trying to charge $100 for it seems pretty scuzzy, man.
But people paid it. There were this was to servers, not to actual players. But yeah, there were servers out there that were prepared to pay the money to get this mod for their server.
So
is it the server paying $100 and
yes.
then like
hundreds?
The mod was $200. Apparently, is what it was. It was $200.
$200 and like
yeah, that a server owner would have to pay, and then anybody who joined that server was able to use these helicopters. Then.
Oh, see, then you're just creating a market where, like, you know, obviously to gain access to that server, you're gonna have to pay, right, to recoup that money you've invested.
Sorry, what was that again?
I'm not sure. The servers you could just join freely. You didn't have to pay the servers or anything like that, but I'm guessing they all met it back in, you know, donations and stuff like that.
Probably, yeah.
So, yeah, but the thing is, even though they were paid helicopters and stuff, they actually, I know it was all legal, but I've flown them a few times. They did run very, very well because they were server side. So they did fly very well and all that. So it was a good. You weren't getting something that was rubbish, but he was stealing it, so it's kind of crappy.
Plus, it's against the terms of service to sell.
Yep.
I did clarify with him that, and this is where it starts to get funny, Lou, and I'm hoping with your background you may be able to elaborate on this. But so it's okay for me to approach, say, Inclement Dab, he's in chat, and pay him to create a mod specifically for me. But the modder can't create a mod and sell it to multiple people.
Right.
And that's where I kind of think it's okay. So
well,
it's okay in one way to pay for it, but it's not okay in another.
This is how I look at it, right? Like, I'm hiring you to do something for me, right? So say, like, I didn't know how to set up a server for DayZ. So I hit you up and I'm like, hey, if I shoot you X amount of money, can you set the server up for me? And it's kind of the same thing with the mod of like, hey, this is what I want. I don't have that skill set. Can I pay you to build this for me? But then if I'm trying to go out there and sell that myself, right? Like, you're approaching me. I'm not putting this on a market and selling it to a bunch of people. So I don't, like, again, I don't know a bunch of this legal stuff, but just from the way I would think about it, it seems justified to me, because it's like, how are you going to really police, you know, someone going to someone else and be like, I need you to build this for me and I'm willing to pay you for your time, versus someone on their own trying to, you know, put it out in the market and charge people for it. So I think that's kind of, I mean, that's the way I look at it anyways. And like I said, it's, when it comes to making money off modding work, I definitely think that, you know, modders should be able to, you know, I've put X amount of time in here, I would like to get paid for that, but you're also, you know, not starting from scratch. So if you were to mod something and then ask money for it, in my mind, it would only be fair for the company to also in return get a cut of that, because you're working with stuff they've built for you to work with.
Yep.
It's like, if I want to do woodworking, gotta go buy a freaking saw and everything. So either you gotta, you know, pay an entry fee to be able to do that and then sell it, or they get a profit of what you make. But again, that's up to the company as well.
Yeah, so you're basically paying for the modder's time and not their product at the end of the day. When you're asking somebody to do it. Like when he was selling those helicopters, you were paying for the product and not his time necessarily.
See, I don't I don't know how they legally justify it, but the way I wrap my head around it is, someone came to me and was like, I need you to do X for me and I'll pay you for it, versus me taking someone's content, doing whatever I do to it, putting it on a market, and then expecting people to pay without any kind of, contract with people whose work I'm using and building off of. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does. But it was definitely an interesting time. There was, quite a few servers that had, and it wasn't just Nightwolf. There was a number of mods. They were talking about it in the modding Discord. A number of mods that got hit with the ban hammer, and I'm unsure if anyone got permanently banned from the Steam store. But I know that threat was out there. So, yeah. Bit of a cleanup, long overdue. An update on the creator server. We've been talking about that. I don't know whether you know, Lou, but after the success of the Rust OPV or whatever it was server, which had all those big name creators on it, a couple of guys, Erno and then Inclement Dab, jumped on board. Decided they would try the same thing for DayZ. But it's been delayed. It was meant to start yesterday or today, depending on where you are in the world, 20th of March. But our inclement Dab came down with a case of food poisoning. So he's had to delay the launch of the server until the 22nd, which will probably be the 23rd here in Australia. I know it's going to be starting at like dark 100 for us, but I'm looking forward to it. What do you think of that thought? A creators only server, Lou?
I see. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, because back in the day I used to do a lot of RP content.
Yep.
And the reason it's always going to be fun to me, I just really hate the drama that is inherent with it for whatever reason. In my experience, you get a lot of people who are friends, and obviously you need some kind of server drama, in-story drama, and factions are going to sprout and everything. But when you're trying to create something that's not going to cause out of the RP drama, there needs to be a level of balance, right? Because if everyone's on one faction and then it's just basically the majority versus the minority, that's the perfect catalyst for outside of RP drama. The whole point is to tell a story. And what I would like to see is, kind of a pre-setup going into this of hey, here's kind of not necessarily rails to put everyone on, but here are the boundaries to establish going into this to try to mitigate that potential of, people feeling like they're just the minority getting shit on the whole experience, because that's not going to be fun. And it's just going to lead to people getting frustrated and bitchy, which is totally understandable. So, because it's you have all these different communities, and then if someone's, getting the shitty end of the stick all the time, that's going to piss their community off as well, and then it just really flares up. So, hopefully that doesn't happen with this, because I foresee some really amazing content coming out of it. But that's just the one thing I would keep in the back of my head is how can we make this an experience where it's not just a bunch of us ending up ganging on this smaller group and then just shitting all over them for the lulz.
Not going to lie, purely from a psychological perspective, I'm very interested to see the dynamics that unfold on the server.
For sure.
It's going to be very interesting. One guy who said he's playing on the server is a YouTuber by the name of Stimpy. Unsure if you've heard of him. He's an Australian guy, and he caused quite a lot of issues on the Rust server. He really knows how to troll and debate people, and some of them didn't react very well to his actions on the server. He just basically doesn't give a shit.
Are they just not familiar with him, or just two kinds of personalities that are just going to inevitably clash?
There was a comment made about him. Oh, you're one of those Rust players. So That should probably tell you a lot about him. What were you going to say, Mark?
I think what also happened was I knew some of the people, like I've watched some of the people who he ran into and baited. A lot of them are GTA 5 RP streamers. So they were probably in the sense that they were kind of probably playing it in a bit of a roleplay scenario. And then Stimpy walks along and trolls them all. And I think they kind of might have got a little bit annoyed because of that as well. I think they kind of... I know quite a few of the streamers he killed were roleplay streamers, and I don't think they like that. So that might have been another reason. They might have been kind of playing it in the roleplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about establishing that, like, is there permadeath rules and stuff? Because if there is, and some people aren't playing to that, you're gonna freak some people out.
Also, as well, I think the content server is going to be good for streamers because you're not going to get stream sniped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to be constantly worrying about if somebody's behind you or you're going to get, killed. So it's going to be a safe space for quite a few streamers as well, which is going to be nice for a change.
Yeah, definitely the streamer-only aspect of it is something that should have been done a while ago for some of this RP content, because you're always going to have those people that just want to be assholes, right? And kind of fuck up whatever you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
happens all the time.
taking steps like this to kind of mitigate the damage as much as possible, definitely smart.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is, because it's going to be a purely content creator server, I'm hoping that there is a bit more of a level of decorum amongst people, and it's going to allow some, one of the big issues I see a lot of the big streamers say is one of the things they don't get to do is do bases, because they just get stream sniped all the time. Whereas on this server, there's a chance that some of them may get to explore a side of DayZ that they normally don't get to play. They've got to constantly be on the move in case someone's stream stalking them and stream sniping them. And yes, I'm not going to be naive and say this isn't going to happen on this server, but it's going to be less likely, and it's going to be plainly obvious because everyone is going to be streaming or doing YouTube videos of what they're doing. So that's going to, it's going to, I'm excited for the concept.
Oh yeah. I mean, the fact that, sorry, go ahead, Mark.
No, go. You good.
I was just gonna say that I agree with you totally on, like, that's one thing I don't miss about streaming is I felt like when I streamed a lot of DayZ, I missed a lot of the organic content that you would get, right?
Yes.
Because you always have people tracking you down, hopping in the server and wanting to engage, which could either be a positive or a negative. Most of the time in my experience, it tended to be negative. But it just seemed to like take that aspect of when you're engaging with someone, you can't tell if this is an organic, unique situation or if it's someone just stream sniping you. And especially in an RP environment, which like you can almost hear it in their voice and you're like, oh fuck, I know this is the guy who's watching me, just because like his reaction is not an organic response to what
you're constantly doubting everything that happens.
Yeah. So that, and getting those kinds of interactions is just like, at least for me, was always just like, well, this just fucking, like, it felt like driving into a bog.
I've always said, Marks, that I pity the people who go full time in some aspects. On one hand, yes, they're getting to play a game they love for a living, but they miss out on so much of the game because they're forced to play a certain style, whether it be a style that people find interesting. They can't mix it up. Some of them can't even go and play other games. If they do, they lose their audience. They kind of become trapped by their own creation.
Yeah, it can get really annoying sometimes like that. I think it's sometimes that can be annoying, but sometimes then you just kind of need to maybe swap server where it's something different, and that can kind of break that rhythm of it. So, but yeah, it can be sometimes you're streaming it and you can just kind of you feel like I don't even want to play this right now. You kind of just feel down and yeah, it's a shitty way to be sometimes. But
dance monkey dance, even when you're not feeling it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I'll save that last point, but not the next point, for the end of the show. But the day one servers seem to be the guarantee to getting partnered for DayZ lately, folks. Seriously, so many people who predominantly play day one are getting the purple tick now. Another person who's just hit it is Foxy Fox Girl. Not sure if you guys know who she is, but she's just hit partner. And she predominantly plays day one. She's got it here at the top of her profile that she's now a full-time partner. So if you're really serious about wanting to get that purple tick, day one seems to be the guarantee. Lou, have you played the day one service yourself?
No, I have not. Like I said, unfortunately, I have not had a lot of time to get into DayZ lately with just work and everything. But I mean, it does make sense that this is something that's definitely going to help, someone who's streaming, because it's putting you in front of the community.
There's so many big names playing it at the moment. It's a guaranteed way of getting your name out there. I've seen Foxy playing with Smoke and with an Aussie guy who recently got partnered, Andy. There's just, you because the map is so small, they're tripping over each other. So it's a great way to get your name out there if you're really, really serious about getting that purple tick.
I think if you just keep the grind up, no matter what server you're on, you will, you'll get that tick. If you just keep the content interesting and just keep grinding, you'll get there eventually someday.
There's a lot to it, isn't there, Lou? To the success. You can't put your finger down on one thing. Like I'm saying, day one's a great way to go, but you've still got to have something that differentiates you from everyone else.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would definitely, if I was still streaming, it's definitely a platform I'd want to be on, because your whole, at least for me, my approach to streaming was, entertainment first. So trying to think, what is going to get my audience hyped up, obviously not going to extremes, but, exposure, interaction with other bigger streamers to kind of showcase your entertainment skills is going to do wonders for your, Twitch career, if that's your goal.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm lucky, and I'm probably the last person to give advice to people. I share links from the likes of Devin Nash and people like that who are a hell of a lot more successful than I'll ever be. But I'm kind of, as I said, lucky in that I've got a military pension from my time in the service, so I don't need to do this for views to gain money in that. Pretty much everything I make goes back into the show, to the server, to a number of things. I donate to quite a few people as well. So I'm blessed in that regard that I can just play the game how I want to. I'm not forced to, constantly analyse if what I'm doing is, going to get me more viewers.
Yeah, it's a very different ballgame when you're trying to either grow or make some type of career out of it, or hopefully, one day make it your job. It's a completely different thing. It can become very stressful at times when either you're streaming or you're trying to make videos, and it can be very stressful.
I'm not going to lie, like I would love to get partnered, and it's kind of embarrassing for me that I've been doing this 4 to 5 years and I'm still only an affiliate. But at the same time, I've got my little community, and I love that community.
Oh yeah, dude. Your community is what's going to, keep you going. The one thing I would say, at least in my approach to streaming, was always, find what works for you too. Like something that's not going to, if you feel drained at the end of the day, obviously, unless you're doing like 24-hour streams, but if you feel drained at the end of the day and you're demotivated, definitely reassess of, what about playing this game is fun for me? How can I share that with my audience? How can I bring them with me on this journey to find that, new experience in whatever game I'm playing?
I point a lot of people towards Summit 1G when he was having his little time there where he just wasn't enjoying what he was doing, and then he just said fuck it, and he started doing what he wanted to do, and that actually brought him back
blew
to
up
the
after it.
yeah, it blew up again. And yeah, there's some great videos if you search YouTube that talk about how he turned himself around and went from, you know, the infamous scene that there is of him punching his monitor to, you know, a bloke who's beloved by many and, you know, been... Did you ever see the troll that got done of him on DayZ, Lou?
The troll?
Oh my God, could someone please find me a link for the troll that modders did to... Summit had this when he came back playing DayZ around the same time as Shroud did. And he had a bit of a rant on Twitter about the trees in DayZ and how shit they are. And someone did a modder using whatever fucking God tools they've got, modders, you know, God bless them. And when he was on a server and he returned to the lobby, they actually made the lobby screen of DayZ full of trees that started falling over on him. And oh my God, I've got it here.
Oh,
there
man.
we go. Someone's just given it to me.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Has anyone got a shorter one than 10 minutes?
Was there a timestamp on it?
Oh, this should be it. So the worst part of it is he wasn't actually there when it happened. Just loading screen music.
Sit tight. I'll be right back. Okay. You become a god. There you go. You transcend your being.
His chat just went nuts, Lou. So they made all of this happen, all these Christmas presents with the 1G logo on it. And it was absolute fucking gold. Hang about.
Dude, how did they...
There we go. This is when he comes back.
Wait.
Oh, man. That is sharp.
Am I getting trolled right now? You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
I'm trying to... Like, how would you even set that up?
Hold the phone.
That's
Give me a
impressive.
second. Let me
All I will say is there are people in this chat right now who know how it was done. That's all I will say.
Summit becomes a god.
Man.
You keep on
That was
winning.
fucking legit.
Yeah, yeah. It was. It blew up after it happened. It was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and it was.
That's kind of...
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, go ahead.
I insist. You go. Guess first.
I was just gonna say that's the good community
Yes.
shit, where it's not like malicious at all by any means, but it definitely like it's like the rib rubbing with your buddies, right? Giving them a little bit of shit, but it's all in good humor.
Yeah. It did cause a little bit of a kerfuffle because it exposed, I actually asked the question back when it happened. So what else could people do to the loading screen? It was basically said anything. Anything could be added to it within the assets of the game, and potentially could be used maliciously. But this was a good example of, like you said, something fun that gave a lot of people a good chuckle in the community. And Summit took it brilliantly.
Yeah, you also get the added benefit too of it, exposing
Yes.
that risk, but not in a malicious way as well.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah, that's impressive.
So we'll do our spotlights, and then I'll finish on the sad note that we've got. At this stage, we'd like to do some shout outs to just various aspects of the community. And the four categories that we do are the mod mini spotlight, creator mini spotlight, artwork creator mini spotlight, and the community spotlight. So the mod mini spotlight that I want to share is, I haven't seen him in chat, but this for me, Lou, was one of the best fucking mods for those who want a more hardcore experience of DayZ. This guy, I call him a friend, Dumpgra. He created a metallurgy and forging mod and an ammo making mod. So for more hardcore servers, that really want to have a immersive roleplay experience, they can put these mods on there, downscale the spawn of actual ammo, and people need to mine the resources and create the gunpowder and create ammo themselves. So it really encourages an economy to arise on the server.
Yeah, that's something I would play around with for sure. I've always thought about that as far as like, in this kind of environment, realistically, all these resources aren't going to replenish themselves. So how do you recycle, that brass you've expended and, create additional ammo? And this system seems like that just brings in a whole new kind of way of approaching, not only raiding bases and stuff like that, but being able to be more self-sufficient if you don't have that group to support you on those kinds of endeavors.
Yeah. But he's done some amazing work, Dumpgra has. He's just unbelievable. He's thinking, again, a bit like Adam did with, and Inclement Dab with the Nomol Survival mod. And they added an aspect to DayZ that people hadn't thought about. He kind of went down that avenue, I believe, as well, in taking DayZ in a direction that people really hadn't thought about. You can go more hardcore with it. You can make it like a role play, so this gives a reason. Someone could become a trader, bring me your resources and I'll turn them into XYZ products for you. And, I'm disappointed that more servers haven't arisen using mods like this, Marks.
Yeah, especially hardcore servers. Hardcore servers or PvE servers even could use this mod very well. On a PvP server, that would be very difficult. But it is a cool mod. I've checked them all out before. It's he does good work.
And there's a link to his Steam workshop as well, folks. I believe he does have a donate button in there as well, if you want to help support what he does. I know he uses funds raised to... he creates a lot of the models himself, but he is an amateur modeler. He'll say that himself. And he gets more talented people to polish his models when he feels that they warrant that. So, yeah. And he's a nice guy to boot. We've had him on the podcast as a guest before. So, big shout out to my boy Dumpgra. The content creator mini spotlight, Foxy Fox Girl. We talked about it before. She's, making waves in the community. It's great to see some of the female creators rising up as well, isn't it, Marks?
Yeah, it is. There's a lot more popping up recently as well. It's good to see.
Because they say it's a very male-dominated industry, Lou, but there's a lot of girls making headway.
Yeah, it's definitely rewarding to see a lot of that kind of change starting to really, rise to the surface.
Yeah.
Guys, let's make a friend.
Well, she's live now. And she's got quite a good style as well. She's definitely more about the interaction as well. I'll put it in the wrong chat. So that's her Twitch channel there, folks. Next cab off the rank. Let me just go... let me go back to the agenda. Artwork creator mini spotlight. Now, I've been hearing a lot about this guy, Dr. Strangelove, or Dr. Strange. Have you used him yourself, Marks?
No, I've heard of him though. I haven't used him.
So if you're looking for emotes, logos, sub-badges, overlays, apparently he is the man. He's like the gold standard of emotes. You can see in the background there, he's done work for the Running Man. He's done work for Amish Zed that I'm recognising there. Definitely some big name people there using him. And I know there's a lot of people who want to get, to be able to say that they've had Dr. Strangelove make stuff for them. So, yeah. Definitely one to check out. And last but not least, guys, the community I want to shout out is one very close to my heart for two reasons. One, because they are the best hardcore first-person server in Australia and New Zealand, and that is DayZ Down Under. Secondly, because it's also... we started the show a little bit differently this morning. I was made aware late last week that one of the stalwarts of the DayZ Down Under community, a bloke by the name of Doc Satan, had become critically ill with complications from pneumonia. And life being life, I was a bit devastated at the time, but like most people, I hoped for the best. And this morning, when I woke up, I reached out to Spud. I needed to get a link from him for a donate bot to give to a friend of mine for his Discord, and I asked for an update on how Doc was, and was sadly advised that Doc had passed away on Friday due to complications with pneumonia. It is a fucking tragedy. The guy was around 25 years old. And just one of the nicest guys to boot. Like, we've all got memories of him. Mine that I remember was he was part of a faction on the DayZ Down Under server called the United Nations. And he loved his job as a UN soldier. The UN were kind of meant to be a neutral faction on the server, and just went around trying to help new spawns. And if anyone was getting out of hand, they would try to bring them back into line. And eventually, as happens on servers, factions start to wane, and the UN was down to a handful of members, and they decided they were going to call it quits. And Doc was on the server, and I was running the Northwest Traders at the time. And they reached out to me and said, "Boydie, come and grab whatever you want from our stockpile of gear and take it back to the trader to use there." And I ran all the way over there. They were at the Northeast Airfield, and I was in Novo, and met Doc and grabbed some gear. And Doc was on by himself, the only UN member, all dressed in his gear. And he was drunk as a skunk. Absolutely shit-faced, 3 sheets to the wind. And he provided me with the funniest escort I've ever had from the Northwest Airfield. I think I was carrying a barrel, because barrels were very rare on the server. So I was, walking the entire distance. And Doc's just running around and, combat rolling and scoping off into the distance. And just, it was such a good memory, and just such a nice guy. I've never heard anyone say a bad word about the guy. And to find out that he got taken by, what's essentially a bad fucking flu at the age of 25, it breaks my fucking heart. Yeah. I know it's awkward for you guys, but if I can do anything with this show, it's highlight, someone who... He was an admin on the server. He'd been around with DDU since the beginning. Spud, if you're in chat, mate, Blackout, if you're in the Discord, you're welcome to come on and talk about him as well. I'll let you guys head off, and we'll just continue to reminisce a bit about our boy. Just, it breaks my heart. The family have asked to be kept updated on the people that their son connected with, their brother. It breaks my fucking heart. I've seen other communities post the losses, and this one hit close to home, because I knew the guy personally. I even went back into my Twitch chat, because it'd been a while since I'd spoken to him, the way it is. And just I was reading through all my history of just conversations with him. Just, yeah, breaks my fucking heart. It really breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll if someone could post a link in the chat to the DDU Discord, if you knew Doc Satan, or even if you didn't and you just want to leave a message, it would really help his family in this time of need. Moonshine, there already is one. There's a Doc Tributes channel. Let me see if I can bring it up. Can you guys see this on the stream? I've got a...
No.
I know you can't, but the chat can.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, they can, yeah.
In the DDU Discord, there is a Doc Tribute page, and I would love it if people were to go in there and just leave a message to help you, family in this, what is a terrible fucking time. Death at the best of times is a tragedy, but when it happens to someone who's so young, it's even worse.
Yeah, it is.
We form some real friendships through fucking video games, don't we, Lou?
Oh yeah, for sure. God damn, I think majority is the only thing that's kept me sane through like this year.
Oh,
past year, I should say.
Do you reckon gamers have had it easier this past year because we're so used to just communicating with people online?
I mean, I definitely found it easier for me. Like it's definitely a drag, but it's not as painful as it would be, like say doing this and not having internet for all of 2020 would have been probably a nightmare in comparison, right?
Yeah, would have been.
Blackout saying in chat, absolutely, we are built for COVID world.
Yeah.
And look, for me, it's even worse because I'm as bizarrely as some of you might find this, I'm a very antisocial person IRL. I don't leave the house often. This is my escape. But for me, nothing really changed. If anything, I was one of the few weirdos who was like, oh, wow, I can actually drive on the roads and not have other cars harassing me and go to the shops and not have other people all around me. These are parts of the issues why I'm on a military pension. But I actually really, yeah, and combined with the fact that I do all my socialising online, I was, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a lot of people were starting to, experience more of the lifestyle of what's typical for some gamers, right?
Yep.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, Face Roll Fatality, a guy who I've only just gotten to meet and already count him as a close friend. He's an ex-Australian soldier himself, saying, I went from a large group of friends in the army to nobody when I left. Gaming saved me 10 out of 10. We are kind of built for this social distancing world, gamers. But guys, I want to thank you all so much. I did have some giveaways lined up through DayZ and Mr. Utah, but I just, in light of what has happened with Doc Satan, I don't think it's the time to be doing any giveaways. I just wouldn't feel right. Like, I literally had tears in my eyes this morning when I found out about it, and I'm not usually an emotional person. But for some reason, this has really fucking hit me hard. Yeah. I'm sorry for making it awkward at the end, guys. It was such a good podcast, but
don't worry about it.
I couldn't not shout out this guy. We get a handful of viewers of the videos and that, and I like to shine the spotlight on stuff that means a lot to me. And yeah, Doc Satan in his weird little way meant a lot to me, and not just me, but to a whole DayZ Down Under community. So yeah. So how do you end a podcast on this note? I want to thank you all, guys. It's been one hell of a fucking ride. 52 episodes, 1 year of a silly little idea I had. I have 1,000,001 ideas, and finally I found one that actually came to fruition. And I've met a lot of amazing people along the way. I've got to meet you now, Lou. Heard your name so many fucking times, man. You know, Brian and Soma name drop you like all fucking. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I tend to get myself into a little bit of trouble.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. It keeps life interesting. If you didn't get in trouble, it'd be a boring existence.
Oh, for sure.
But no, thank you so much for coming on. Marks, thank you again, mate.
Pleasure as always.
Yeah. I'm sad that we didn't get to get Brimstone on either, and obviously Brian, but I'm sure you guys will take him to task over that, Lou.
For sure.
He left you high and dry.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, part of the frickin'... He's never been a morning person, so...
No. That said, it's like nearly 11 o'clock now in New Zealand, so it's not that bad for him. I was really keen to speak to him as well because I really wanted to find out what it's been like for him moving from the US to New Zealand. Much more laid back, I'm guessing. But
I would assume so.
Yeah. So the last thing we have to announce, folks, is who next week's guest will be. And next week we have our very first ever Players episode. This was a suggestion based on feedback. You know, one of the things I'm proud of with the podcast, Lou, is we take on board feedback from the viewers about how we can improve the show. You know, I'm not arrogant to think my way is the only way. And a great suggestion we had was predominantly we focused on people of note, you know, such as yourself, even though I guarantee probably 99% of the people in chat had no idea who you were, but you are a person of note in the DayZ community. We've had streamers, we've had modders, but someone said, you know, you're a show for the players. Why not get players on? And I was like, well, fucking duh. That's a great fucking idea. Why didn't I think of that? So I threw it out there, and we have got two guys, Sandor and Syntax, lined up to come on the show next week just to talk about DayZ from a viewer's perspective. Because like I said before, Lou, when you're streaming, it does affect your view on a game, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
So it's going to be good to hear from the players.
Yeah, I mean, you know, getting any kind of feedback on, you know, what they're looking for, you know, interaction-wise or just content-wise is, you know, a mini gold mine sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
And Dino's, yes, I've got to take you up on that offer, mate, how to make an add-on lesson. But yeah, we'll talk about that one in DMs, mate. But I'm really excited for it because the other thing I'm looking forward to, Marks, is the devs have said they do watch the podcast and value the opinions we give on there, even when we're, you know, not always favourable. But this will be good for them to actually hear some player feedback as well. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a new chapter, and it's going to be done every month. Every month, the last podcast of the month will be a players episode.
Yeah, sounds like a good thing.
So Lou, once again, mate, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Definitely we need to try and arrange that holy trifecta of you, Soma and Brian. I think the chemistry there will be amazing.
I appreciate you guys having me.
No, I appreciate you for coming on, mate.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
I appreciate you. All the best, everyone. I'm going to hang around for a bit if anyone wanted to jump into Discord and chat. But actually, I don't think I will. I think it'll just turn into an emotional fest, and we can do that off camera. We've honoured the legacy of Doc Satan, and I do encourage people, please, like I said, do go in there to the DayZ Down Under Discord. I do have a link. I'll post it quickly again to their website, which has got links to everything that you need to be able to get in there, to their Discord and their website and anything else you might want to do. All the best, everyone. Thank you for 52 episodes. It's been a great journey, and here's to 52 more. All the best, everyone. Say bye-bye, guys.
See you next time.
And ciao for now.